sweet. I'm starting off with it's fucking old fashioned Mike's Hard Lemonade, just regular lemonade and shit. So
it's not regular lemonade. It's Mike's.
Well, yeah,
there's nothing.
Well, I'm so used to like the 19
Yeah,
different kinds of fucking flavors, and yeah.
That is true. There's
Yeah,
like 50 freaking flavors.
Well,
of
Christian, if you want to talk to
lemonade.
Junior, you gotta get closer to Susan's microphone.
Come here, babe.
Is it okay if I get like a little bit serious with this?
No, just say something funny. I wanted to start off laughing because then we're gonna get serious later. But I brought you in for comedy purposes because you keep constantly saying that like your mother's been annoying you and stuff, and your mother's bothering you. So like you feel like you understand Junior, like you feel like you understand what Junior goes through, and you understand like how much suffering and pain Junior feels, and like
You understand why he's angry all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
So why do you feel like you get closer to the microphone? But like, why do you feel like you understand Junior's suffering?
I feel like I understand Junior because my mom is like turning into Junior's dad.
Okay, all right. There's
Okay.
nobody. There's
And, like,
nobody turning
why-
into his fat ass.
Why would you feel that way?
Because literally, one time there was like my mom. There's a back room for like snacks. If anyone wants a snack, they can go grab it. She didn't label anything that's hers.
Okay.
So I just thought, yeah, all right, it's the back room for everyone. I grabbed a snack. My mom got mad at me because I grabbed something that was hers.
Mm-hmm.
And she literally does that all the time. And literally,
So she's accusing you of eating all of her food. So let Junior break down.
So basically, she's saying she went to you and asked you if you ate her honey bun.
Dear God.
yep, essentially, it wasn't a honey bun, but still.
See, the thing that
That's the
pisses me
metaphor,
off.
though.
See, the thing that pisses me off though is that you're her kid. Like, what's hers is yours. Like, I don't understand like why
And
she
that's the way
even.
it should have been with you and your dad.
No.
But then again,
No, see, the thing is with my dad is that he's just too hungry of a person to want to share anything. So he doesn't want to share anything. So it's just like if somebody ate something of his, then he'll wake the whole household up
Yeah.
for the sake of a cinnamon bun. So because he's so greedy that he can't even keep track of how much he eats. So he eats a lot.
Yeah.
But then he eats even more than that. And then he can't even keep track. So he thinks everybody's eating everything because he's eating so much. Yeah. Like his food reserves are going lower than normal because for some reason his appetite just picks up the lazier he gets. So it's just when I tell you like there are some similarities there where she gets upset over a snack, like I do admit, but nobody can become that fat fuck.
You gotta understand, Christian. When you say things like "Dad, I understand Junior's pain." Like, in
that respect, though, he does kind of understand.
But also you have to look at situations like his mother. She can get into a car and the car not lean to the left. His mother can wear sneakers. Like, if your mom trips, does she destroy an entire living room? Like, things like that.
Does she have to get momentum behind herself to get up out of a chair?
Now here's the thing about the not wearing sneakers.
Getting up sometimes, though.
Can she still pronounce your name?
Yes.
So here's what kills me. Here's what kills me. All right. The fact that you can't wear sneakers like a normal person. It's like all right, I get it. Like I get it. Like, we have like there are people with bigger feet. Like it's understandable. But when you have elephantitis without actually having elephantitis on your feet, it becomes something out of the ordinary. Like when the only sneakers you can wear is the brand name sneaker, that's a problem. Like, I mean, you can't wear Reeboks, you can't wear Nike, New Balance, you can't even wear Shaqs. All you can wear is the brand sneaker.
And Junior, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, how would you feel if your dad went on a diet?
Honestly, I don't know how I would feel. I'd probably die before he goes on a diet because I know he's gonna outlive me. So, and it's so he's definitely not gonna go on a diet in my lifetime because I just don't see him, eating salads or anything green for that matter. Because
well, sometimes you don't need to like eat a salad to go on a diet.
Yeah.
You just need to eat less.
Yeah.
All right, Christian. That's basically all. I just want to get like the first 5 minutes of laughing because we got Junior's friend here and stuff. And if Al ever shows up, so yeah, Susan, you probably want to adjust your mic.
Yeah, there's that.
So right now we have me, Susan, Al, and Junior, and hopefully Al gets here. But Junior brought a new buddy, and like I said, anybody listen to the podcast. I fucking love having guests on here. I like new people, new opinions and shit, and somebody new to talk to. Like, it's awesome. So
just give him a chance to introduce himself. Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead.
Hey, I'm Nicolai Smith. I'm new to the podcast, and I'm just here with my friend Will.
Yeah.
There you go.
I definitely do, like, trust me, because we're like 54, and the first time, it was actually me, Junior, and Al. It felt fucking weird just talking, like, hearing your own voice and shit. Everybody I know, it's Susan, my friend Carlton, Elliot, everyone's like, because I put this shit on Spotify, Carlton's like, dude, I know I sounded like that. It's like, when you're talking, you don't realize it, but like, even...
Because you don't hear your own voice.
No,
You really don't, no.
This is odd hearing
Yeah.
for the microphone as well.
So,
Yeah.
but at some point, yeah, if you want, like, just take the mic, just kind of like,
if you
they
want,
pick
just
up a lot,
pull
but
like
yeah.
the
It's
table
just
closer to
our
yourself.
technology.
Yeah.
But no, it's like when I listen, because when I go back, everything we do, I re-upload the stuff, then put it on Spotify, and I'm driving. When I listen to hear myself, like, yeah, like I told Sue, like, the mistakes I make, I hear all of them. I don't hear her mistakes or your mistakes or Junior's or Al's, but every time I fuck up, you're like, your own worst critic is yourself. So it's like Dan said, every mistake I make, you won't hear, but you hear your shit. Like, why did I say this and this, or why did I talk so fast, or why did I say fuck that many times?
It's funny because I was re-listening to it at work, and I was saying to my coworker, because she's like, why are you re-listening to it? And I'm like, because I'm trying to pinpoint what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
And then she's like, all I hear is Chris's voice over and over and over again. She's like, don't you get enough of that at home? I'm like, yeah, but I'm not really listening to the Chris part. I'm listening more to like what I'm doing that's fucked up here.
Yeah. And in some episodes, like I've had episodes where I won't talk for 10 minutes and it's just you and Junior. Sometimes I talk only for 10 minutes. It just depends on what we're covering. That's all. Like,
it depends on who has like the bigger viewpoint on something.
Yeah, I mean, I've had times where I'll let Junior, I'll give him the mic fucking for as long as anybody wants. I mean, so. There
could be a time where Junior's going to talk for an hour.
Yeah.
Well. You know, here's the thing. I speaking of reminiscing about old episodes, you know, I was, you know, I re-listened to episode 8 where it was the stories about my father and when he couldn't fit on the rides.
Man, time fucking flies by, man.
You know,
we're coming up on almost a year now.
Yeah.
It's
freaky, man.
Yeah.
Jen actually marked the first time her and I came down here for the podcast.
Yeah.
It was May 9th.
I'm looking forward to getting her back
year.
down here. My sister she recently had her boyfriend died, and she's pretty fucked up.
He
and
passed
just,
away,
just like too much drinking, too much drugs, and just like, and shit catches up with you. That's really like, and then I want to bring her down here to like cheer her up, like, Jen, listen, just, you have to look at I know every tragedy, it's hard in retrospect to look at good stuff, but like, look at a comedy, like the fact that, you know, your boyfriend died in like 38 years old, and Junior's father's still alive is like, I mean, look at the medical mystery based on that.
That's not okay. Like,
Okay.
she's still in mourning right now. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Eventually, she'll laugh it off. Like, look, his dad weighs like triple what your boyfriend weighs, and like his father, like, you know, has to wrap his legs up and shit. Like,
you know, I never understood that. I never understood wrapping the leg part. Like, it's just like when he said he was retaining moisture, I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you, a raisin? Like, you need to retain moisture? Like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just
raisins dry out.
His
Like,
dad's diet should have killed a normal man like decades earlier, but
yeah, he's one of those, like Lewis Black said, eat fatback and drink wine, and it's just it's perfectly fine.
His father, if you put fucking Big in a diet of like broccoli and Brussels sprouts and carrots, he'd be in an emergency room the next day. Like,
exactly.
Well, that's like you. You and I had that conversation one time. Every time Chris eats a salad, he winds up like,
I get sick,
dying. Like, I'm not going to say it's hysterical, but it is kind of funny.
This is a body of just beef and cheese. That's all I need in my life.
But, like, every time he'd get sick, everyone would look at him and be like, you ate a salad, didn't you? It's like...
Well, that's why Al made a joke. Al's like, Chris, you're eating vegan food? You must be in love. I'm like, Al, the pussy, the sex is so great, I'll go vegan. Like, God damn it, I get sick every time afterwards, but, you know.
Well, it was funny because, like, when you guys were together, like, your mom was noticing you'd eat what she would cook, but then later you'd come up and eat, like, whatever meat your mom cooked. And she's like, yeah, he can't live off that freaking rabbit food, can he?
Exactly. I was living off something else.
Yeah, you're living off something else. I wasn't just living off of that vegan. There was something meaty there, too.
He was living off of that vegan, all right.
She never complained. But, so, let's try doing some, like, this is funny, because I had to pop up just different news articles, and Nicolai, any topics you got, man, just bring shit up. I don't care, by all means, you're more than welcome. So, I checked Twitter and the ether and try to, like, do funny shit, but, because this one had me just laughing about, this was from CNN, but one of the Capitol rioters that fucking went to the building there, he was arrested after being turned in by a match on Bumble. So, Jesus Christ. They caught him. He was on Bumble bragging about going to the fucking Capitol building and what he did. He's like, he told one of his matches, Robert Chapman of New York. Yeah, great. I did storm the Capitol. I made it all the way into Statuary Hall. He also claimed he was interviewed by members of the media, and the woman's like, "Yeah, we're not a match." But after she said that, she fucking called the cops and showed him his profile, and they called him to his dating profile. So, probably not the smartest idea to hop on fucking Bumble or Tinder or Match to say like, "Hey guys, I stormed the Capitol. Fuck you, United States."
I mean, all honesty,
Christ, man.
if I had stormed the Capitol or if I was a part of the freaking riot in Albany or whatever, but there's actual like proof that none of us were a part of that. But if I had done either of those things, I wouldn't go on the internet and say, "Oh yeah, I was a part of that shit." And like, no.
Especially a dating site, a dating app, like
not even just a dating app. Going on Facebook, going on Twitter, going on Instagram, going on whatever. Like, you don't brag about something ridiculous that you did in your life.
Mm-hmm. Boy.
Well, the reason why they bragged about it is because of the fact that it's like they didn't fear the consequence.
I got cherry Diet Pepsi too if you want. So.
There's no actual consequence.
Actually, this is a Pepsi. Fucking some reason diet. I can't stand the zero sugar shit. I love the zero sugar. I don't know why, but just like that's with most people. Like, and that's just anything. It's just like when they don't have to fear the consequence, they're gonna do shit. They're gonna say shit. They're gonna do shit. They're gonna be.
Nicolai's got
the Jack with honey, my personal favorite. Like I like Jack, but that goddamn Jack with honey, I could drink that shit. I don't drink it every day because I'd become a fucking alcoholic. Like.
Yeah,
you're borderline an alcoholic right now. Stop
Pretty
it.
much, yeah.
You need to just stop that.
It's still sitting there. It's weathering. It's taking its time. The Kraken, one day, me and the Kraken will have a round two. So.
Mm-mm.
Elliot messaged me today.
Yeah.
He asked if I missed him.
No one does.
That's mean.
Yeah. So. This would make Junior laugh because look at this image right here of a fucking black guy screaming. Because it'd be your father. But, so yeah, we've heard about this story in the past, but it happened yet again. The skies turned black as billions, keyword billions, of locusts took flight, emergency declared. And of course, you see this poor guy running to his fucking house with like 2 billion locusts swarming on him. Like,
where was your dad when this was happening?
Exactly. Because at that point, if you walk outside and there's like 500-600 million locusts, you're just fucked. Like, there's just nothing you're going to do but just be eaten alive at that point, so... Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I'll just throw him in. Oh, I can't throw him because he's too heavy, but
yeah.
I would try to get them to come as close to that house and eat him up as possible.
This happened again over in fucking Africa in Namibia. I can't say that right, but said locusts usually don't attack humans or animals, and it doesn't seem to be evidence that they carry diseases that could harm humans. Okay. Nevertheless, because of their sheer number, it's difficult to walk outside without getting locusts in your mouth, your hair, and in your clothes, especially when there's like a fucking billion of them.
Yeah,
so.
like that's the thing. Like they could smother you to death.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So they're saying that the crops have been destroyed this week. Beyond eating crops that humans eat, they're also decimating grasses that grazing animals depend on for their feed. In this interview with the newspaper, he said, "I would like to urge our people to yell and burn tires when they see locusts in their mahangu fields. Local police have also been using their sirens to help spook the locusts away. Because in all reality, you open your door, get ready to go to fucking work, you see 1 billion locusts outside. Calling the cops really isn't going to do a whole lot. Like, but you plan on shooting them.
Most jobs are going to look at you and be like, "You're getting here one way or another."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's in America. That's not anywhere else in the world. Anywhere else in the world, if you have a legitimate emergency, they'll look out for you on that. But for the most part in America, they don't give a fuck what sort of emergency you have.
They're trying to blame it on wet weather. Just wet weather could be the blame for this outbreak and stuff. On top of, it's been 2019's been really since 2019's been shitty for locusts because like their populations with Africa, Middle East, and said scientists believe that the moisture left behind by the massive storms helped create the locust problem that exists today. At no other point in history have food systems confronted such an array of new unprecedented threats, including megafires, extreme weather, unusually large desert locust swarms, and emerging biological threats like COVID-19. So, boy, that's fucking great.
This comes to just let you know we got a lot more problems to deal with than just a race baiting media.
Like they're saying, it's like these are fucking food shortages because like the locusts are not really killing you per se; they're not attacking you. But when they destroyed fucking dozens of like football fields, stadiums full of crops and grass, and like guess what, your cattle. There's no grass left to fuck eat. Your cattle starved. Then on top of they destroy all your plants, your tomatoes, and just whatever, anything we take for granted and shit. And like that's the real fucking problem.
Yep.
So
many problems in this world.
Yeah.
Like, their one problem is inconvenient fat people. That's another problem in this world.
There we go.
It's another pandemic of things we need to get rid of in this society is inconvenient fat people. Now, inconvenient fat people could be inconvenient for the eyes too, not just being inconvenient. Like, you know, when you're at your job and you see some fucking gargantuan fuck wearing a fucking belly shirt, and, you know, like, it's just like you see the stomach pouring past her fucking thighs, and she's walking around jiggling like she's going through like some sort of car wash, like a high speed fucking car wash. And it's just like, you fucking disgusting cow. Like, put on a bigger shirt. Like, you don't see, like, it's just like, you don't see guys going around. Like, you know, some guys just don't wear a shirt that's big enough. You know what I mean? And sometimes their belly goes on underneath their shirt. But at least for the 98% of, you know, of those fat people, at least they wear bigger clothes. At least they have on something, because, you know, you're not going to see a guy walking in fucking public with their fucking stomachs hanging out. Like, you're just not going to fucking see it. You're not going to see them walking in the fucking mall with a belly shirt on.
Yeah.
You're just not going to see it. But for some odd fucking reason, these disgusting fucking hippos think it's okay to walk around with their fucking stomachs hanging out like that. Like, I don't think it's okay for my fucking stomach to hang out like that. I'm not fat shaming. It's just fucking disgusting. That's indecent exposure. Isn't that breaking a fucking law? Like, that's indecent exposure. Like, I'm gonna fucking start reporting these fucking people. I'm about to start calling the cops and be like, hey, this 400-pound fuck is wearing something in public they shouldn't be wearing. She's exposing herself to me in a way that makes me uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to see that shit. That's another thing that's going on. That's a fucking pandemic. That's another epidemic of fucking inconvenient fat people. It needs to stop.
Boy. So much love in his heart for fat people.
Listen, you need to understand something. There's a particular fat person in my life that has traumatized me for years, and he can go die. But anyway, like, oh man, good day today. Good day for a sugar rush.
So everybody here, we've all been to supermarkets. We've all been food shopping.
Mm-hmm.
You go into like the store and stuff, and you happen to see an 8-foot lizard climbing the shelves and looking at you. What do you do?
Say hi. How you doing?
I mean,
try to make it my pet.
Yeah, you go in there and
8-foot lizard.
An 8-foot lizard. It's like like this. The headline: Giant lizard goes on supermarket sweep. Forget Kong versus Zilla. It wasn't only lizard this weekend. It was a massive Asian water monitor, terrified shoppers going on a King of the Monsters rampage through a 7-Eleven in Bangkok, Thailand. The tweet had 1 million views before it was deleted. So the clip was showing an 8-foot lizard. He was climbing up the shelves and knocking stuff down, cartons and stuff like that. And the shelves are ruined. Oh my God, a voice can be heard in the background. It was a reptilian interloper, which at 8 feet long is the world's second largest lizard after the Komodo dragon. So the clip concludes him climbing the shelf, knocking stuff down, and people in the background just like laughing and screaming and shit. And Godzilla is real, guys. Somebody put in social media.
I really want to make it my pet.
You would.
Yeah.
You would train it to eat your dad.
Yes, definitely.
As soon as his dad goes in the fucking price shopper, can buy some food, the lizard just jumps on him.
Or you just hear like a massive low moan and groan, like as he's getting fucking eaten alive. Sound like a fucking ghost from Resident Evil Village video game.
So
I'm not saving him. I'm not saving him.
This, I guess the whole long-term plan of like Elon Musk and everybody like trying to colonize Mars and stuff and just move the human race out there is, it's gonna be happening. Won't affect us, but I guess they're trying to look at like what's the human race gonna be in hundreds and thousands of years from now. But this new, apparently it's a fucking NASA rover. It just made oxygen on Mars, which is okay. So the rover said converted some of the plentiful carbon dioxide on Mars into oxygen as a first test of its MOXIE instrument. The name MOXIE is short for Mars Oxygen In-Situ Resource Utilization Experiment. It took it 2 hours to produce 5.4 grams of oxygen. That's enough to sustain a person for about 10 minutes. So 2 hours to make 10 minutes of air. But it's still fucking new. So it's saying that Mars' atmosphere is 96% carbon dioxide, which is,
of course, over time it's going to get better.
What I'm saying, that's right now. So, but considering Mars is 96% carbon dioxide, it's not good for us. But something that can convert that carbon dioxide into oxygen could help in more ways than one. So, they're trying to eventually have Mars be breathable for humans and shit. And Yeah.
I'm more or less concerned what's going to be happening in the next 5 years. I feel like even more fucked up shit's going to happen in the next 5 years. It's like something like space exploration is probably not something we're going to see or deal with in our lifetime. I mean, I'd volunteer for something like that just to get the fuck away from here. But it's just, I'm more concerned about what's going to be happening with us in the next 5 years. Like, a lot more jobs becoming irrelevant. Like, there's so much shit happening.
I'm just saying, like, overall for our species, though, it's like, because the job stuff's going to fuck us over, but in terms of a species, it's like, there's always going to be the fucking rich elite, always going to be, like, the ones who haves and we have not, but, like, long term, we've already proven that, like, the way we're going, which I still laugh about, like, they want to colonize, Mars and other planets and stuff, instead of fixing Earth right now and fixing our pollution. Let's just go to fucking Mars and make oxygen and start moving people to Mars, because, that's the way to fix our problems.
Yeah, don't fix the planet we're already on. Let's go to another one and fuck that one up too.
Let's just keep destroying our fucking oceans and our atmosphere and our food sources. And the best solution is just go to fucking Mars and fix that planet. Like, yeah, right.
Yeah. Let's quote fix that planet for human habitation. Like, we're fucking parasites, dude. Seriously.
Yeah,
we really are fucking
Because
parasites.
how many different generations before we fuck up Mars just as bad as we fucked up Earth?
Yeah.
So I said, you guys, you're so busy fucking looking at other friggin' planets. It's like, just think how many billions and trillions of dollars they're spending in terms of rocket fucking fuel resources, and they're trying to do all this shit to get humans ready to change planets. Then why don't you take these billions and trillions and start fucking fixing like our oceans and shit, and like on our volcanoes, and just like how bad our natural resources are dwindling and shit in our atmosphere. But no, let's just go to fucking Mars. Like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes to show you just where the priority is. It's because they're realizing at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? I was like, us getting more money out of these people, it's like all these conspiracy theories that's, turning out to be facts and things like that. It's, people, the rich kind of get tired of the poor, just putting them out there in the open. Like, you really don't give a fuck about the average person, because let's be honest, if you're rich, you're not the average person. You're just not. You know what I mean? The average person goes to work 40 hours a week, comes home has a regular routine, pay your bills, keep yourself above water, keep yourself out of trouble, off the streets. You're a law-abiding citizen. That's anywhere in the world, Of course, in America, they make it seem like, only place in the world that, you work 40 hours a week, which is more on average than any other country in the world, and you still can't make a living for yourself, where you have to work 65 hours a week to make a living for yourself.
Oh yeah, I would love to ask anybody who listen to this stuff, or anybody I know that's blue collar or otherwise, if you're working 40 hours a week, please by all means show me financially how you're paying for your bills. I just don't know anybody that works 40 hours. I just don't, and has their own place, because mine's just like, I can work 40 hours. Yeah, sure. If you have a mother, father, roommates, family and shit. I'm talking about your own fucking place.
Yeah.
Your own apartment, your own house, your own car, your own fucking bills. You show me what job you're working on 40 hours a week. Because I tell you, I haven't worked a 40-hour week in like
where it's just
40,
you by
4 or 5
yourself,
years
like
now.
No spouse, no nothing.
I have no idea what the fuck a 40-hour work week is. I can't financially even break that down how that's possible, and I don't know anybody who does. Let's just said you're making some serious fucking money, like.
Well, it's funny too.
It's sad because like I don't want to like throw out there like I make decent money. I'm a manager in my job. Mm-hmm. Junior, you're like management in yours, right?
No, I'm at a higher pay grade, but I'm no longer like the supervisor of where I was.
Chris works for a bus company where he's making a lot more than I am. And
that's my point. But you mean none of us are technically living on our own though?
No,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
because we can't afford to.
Yeah. I mean, and when they sit there and say, well, you could budget your money, I'm like, there's other places that's around the world who their cost of living is 25% lower, but their minimum wage and their livable wage is 25% higher. So it's like, okay, well, no, let me scratch that. Their livable wage is 25% lower. Their cost of living 25% lower. Their minimum wage is 25% higher than the United States. And but you say that's socialism. How is it socialism to talk about other countries' economies? I was like, we want to say that we're number one because we house the most billionaires. There was a statistic that we talked about a few podcast episodes ago where we said the 62 richest people in the world are worth more than half the world's population.
Yeah, I like that number again, guys. Not half of America, not half of a country, half of our fucking species. Yeah. Half of every country on this fucking planet.
62 people
are worth more than
360 billion No.
Well, no, we have 360 million people in America. Alone,
Yeah, so there's like
but
three.
But we're globally hitting around 7 to 8 billion fucking people.
Yeah.
8 billion. We're getting close.
So
to
62 people worth more than like almost 4 billion people.
Well, even 7 billion people. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Or the fact that some people, like literally a single person is worth more than a state.
Yeah.
Or in some places, probably a fucking country. But the fact that some people right now could actually, their collective fucking wealth is worth more than New York State as itself. The whole fucking state, like one person, like that's.
And you talk about
That's
distribution of wealth, you start dipping into socialism. But,
Yeah.
but what's hypocritical about that statement is if socialism is so bad, why do companies max out your salary at certain positions? Because that's technically socialism. So you can't say that socialism is bad because if it does good for corporations and it does bad for Americans, then you call it socialism. That's not how it works. You know what I mean? It's capitalism in corporations, but it's socialism for the average person. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. It's like people it's like just with any topic that we talk about, it really just seems like people just pick and choose what it means. It's like it's not the meaning in itself. It's just people pick and choose what it means. It's like, you know, when somebody it's like when they see Lizzo fucking shaking her ass on a fucking basketball court, they call that empowerment. But if, you know, I sit there and I fucking whip my dick out, it's fucking indecent exposure. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, we pick and choose what's what. You know what I mean? And it's sickening. The
constant hypocrisy, because like they make the jokes about, like, you know, say Marvel Comics, you know, it's like, oh, if Black Widow's wearing a low-cut shirt or Scarlet Witches, that's over-sexualizing women. Okay, but then when don't you see Captain America or Thor or Iron Man take their shirts off?
Yeah.
Same thing. You know, it's like me, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine, like, say, like the Rock being a fantastic shape.
Well, it's like
shape,
saying,
you know?
too, like, their outfits are skin tight. Okay, have you seen the Captain America freaking, like, outfit? Have you seen, like, Thor's freaking outfit? Like, they're skin tight as well.
What's the fuck? It's just the hypocrisy of, like, you know, so we can see, like, or it's also getting in shape. Yeah, it's like, if you tell a woman to drop 30, 40 pounds, you're fat shaming her. Tell a guy to drop 30, 40 pounds, and, like, that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, because again, and that's the point of superheroes and stuff. You look at people like Captain America or Thor, like The Rock, for example. It's like they inspire you to, like, I'll see The Rock do an Instagram video. I want to go fucking do 20 push-ups and stuff. I don't see The Rock eating fucking 2 dozens of Dunkin' Donuts make me go want to eat donuts and shit. Like, like you don't look like the fucking Rock living off pizza and burgers 7 days a week. You look like The Rock because he trains to be that way. So these women, it's like, what's wrong with, like, every time you tell a woman, it's like you tell a female for a role, hey, listen, if you want to be like Wonder Woman, if you want to be Black Widow, if you want to be anybody, you got to fucking drop 30 pounds. That's how it is. You know, oh, you're fat shaming them. No, but if you want to be Spider-Man, you better drop 40 fucking 5 pounds. That's what Spider-Man looks like. It's
yeah. No, I mean, it's just, you know, people's like, well, you should just accept me as I am. No, like, I'm not going to. Like, the fuck? Like, me, it's just like I got into an argument with this girl on Facebook and she did not respond to me because I blasted her shit. Because she sat there, because there was a picture that said that Kylie Jenner was better looking than Rihanna. I was like, pre or post surgery? And then, and they sat there and they was like, oh, why are you shaming? It was like, we shouldn't be comparing one woman to another. I said, you compare one man to another. Yeah. Don't you have your attractors? Don't you have men that attract you? You know what I'm saying? You're going to get with a man that's in shape, that's dark skinned and in shape, and not a fat, light skinned guy, right? So you have your attractors. You have things that attract you. So you're comparing one man to another, right? You find one man more attractive than the other, right? So you do the same shit. So why can't I do it? Why can't I find one woman more attractive than the other? Me, I like an all natural woman body, and that's what Rihanna has.
Yeah.
Rihanna has an all natural figure. There is no surgery at all. There is no injections, nothing. She has not had a single ounce of plastic surgery. And to me, she is one of the most gorgeous women I've ever seen in my life. Like, I've actually seen her. She was in New York, and I've seen her. Yeah. And she is one of the most attractive women I've ever seen in my life. She is all natural. Kylie Jenner, that is after hundreds of thousands of dollars of surgery, that she looks somewhat attractive. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's just like, those pictures before her surgery, nobody would even have looked in her direction. That's just a person who just has it. That's a person who just has money. So she put money into her. She's fake. She's just as fake as her personality. Just like Kim Kardashian, you're shaped like a fucking tooth. You're not attractive. Like, there's nothing attractive about you. But people look at her as a standard of beauty. And it's just like, you're looking at something fake as a standard of beauty. You're saying, I need surgery to look beautiful. Ladies, that's not the case. Like, you don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of surgery to look good. Like, you just don't. Like, guys, like us guys here, we just got to deal with our dick size. You know what I mean? Like, if our dicks aren't big, guess what? We're gonna have a small dick for the rest of our fucking life. Like, that's just the thing that we deal with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we get made fun of that for that shit. And it's crazy, and nobody bats an eye about that. It's hilarious. But the moment that a guy or anybody talks about all the fake and plastic surgeries that other people are having, oh, why are you judging these women for, and things like that? Like, okay.
I don't want to cut you off because
no, you're good.
A part of me does agree with you, but at the same point, you know, granted, I don't think I'd ever get any surgery done. Like, I don't have any, like, issues with anything. Like, obviously, like, I'm not going to get breast implants. I'm not going to get, like, something done to my ass. I'm not going to do all that stupid shit. But, like, if they have the money to do it, like, I'm not going to, like, sit there and, like, shame them for, like, wanting to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there's a difference. Like, don't, like, I'm not going to say, like, that's beautiful, but if that's what they want to do to themselves, like, cool. Yeah. But don't take someone who's, I do agree with you, don't take someone who's naturally, like, beautiful and someone who's paid to make herself look beautiful and, like, try and say there's comparison there. Exactly. I will agree with you on that.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point.
But at the same point, like, if they, like I said, if they have the money to freaking, like, do it and they're like, you know what, I have insecurities about myself. I don't like the way I looked 10 years ago and I wanted to change all of that. Like, that's their prerogative. Yeah.
I'm not shaming the people who do it. What I'm shaming is how people, what I'm coming after and what I'm attacking is the fact that it's like you look down on other people because they have their own attractors. My own, like, if somebody isn't attractive to the fact that they've had plastic surgery, if they're looking down, like me personally, I don't like the plastic surgery. I won't date a woman that's, you know, superficial. I'm not going to date a woman. That's me. That's me personally. But because I say that, you know, men get attacked. Mostly men get attacked for saying that shit. Yeah. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, you know what I mean? Because it's like, well, we shouldn't be pitting one woman against another or something like that. I'm like, I am going to, because I'm not going to say that at any point in time that Kylie Jenner is better looking than Rihanna. I'm never going to say that. Because she's not, even with her enhancements, she's not.
But at the same
Well, the point is, it's like that's the thing with the internet now. It's an opinion because again, you can ask 20 guys, right? If 10 guys say Kylie Jenner's hotter, and 10 guys say Rihanna's hotter, who's right? It's not right or wrong.
No,
it's just
there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. It's just the fact that somebody will stand up and say the people who are wrong are going to be the ones who stand up and say we shouldn't be comparing or anything like that. I'm like,
that's what we try saying. Like, it's fucking podcast.
Crazy.
It's like, there's facts and there's fucking opinions. I try using facts before I form an opinion. But it still comes down to, like, you know, that's borderline what we said before is, like, you know, you can't help what you're attracted to and what you're not attracted to. I said it before, if I go on fucking Tinder and some chick goes like, hey, like, I'm 5'6" and I only date fucking 6 foot tall black guys. Some guys like, oh, you're racist, bitch. I'm not mad about that. If you're only into fucking 6 foot tall black guys, how is that fucking racism?
That's her prerogative.
That's what you're into. Yeah. Some chicks are like, hey, like, you know, I'm 5'6" and I won't date fucking black guys. Oh, you're a fucking race hating black guys. You can't control what you're fucking attracted to. Like you said, there's chicks out there who would tell me, Chris, I think you should gain 30 pounds. Other chicks would say, Chris, I think you need to lose 30 pounds. There's no fucking right or wrong of what you're attracted to. Like you said, there's some people out there who love that fucking plastic Barbie doll shit. We're not one of them.
Exactly.
But there's some people who, like, you know, the Kylie Jenners, Kim Kardashians, they have a following for a reason. It just doesn't appeal to us. But like you said, there's no right or wrong, though.
And for the most part, before they were getting, like, all that plastic surgery done, they were all beautiful girls. Like, over time, like...
For the most part.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. For the most part, they were beautiful when they were naturally beautiful. But over time, like, obviously, like, they're in tabloids, they're in social media, like, people who want to, like, talk shit about them and, like, say, like, oh, this one's the fat one, this one needs this done, this one needs that done. And, like, people picking away at them over time because of the fact that they are famous. And, like, granted, whatever they're famous for, like, we don't need to go into that. But any person who's famous, like, people pick at them no matter what.
Yeah.
Some people have thick skin and can't, and can say, fuck you, I'm beautiful, I know I'm beautiful, and go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Other people, they don't have that.
Yeah.
And they will get, like, all this surgery and shit done.
Yeah.
And say, okay, well, this person said my lips were, like, too thin. This person said my ass wasn't big enough. This person said, like, I need to get, like, a breast lift. This person said I need to get this done. This person said I need to get that done.
Yeah.
And now it's to the point where they, surgically wise, they probably are beautiful, but they're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, like I said, I don't care what you want to do to your body. You can do whatever you want to your body. That's not, you know, I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
But what I care about is if I say I don't like that and they say, well, you know, why don't you like that for? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you to tell me what my preference should be? You don't get to tell me what the fuck my preference is. Yep. Because what the fuck do you prefer? Like, literally, I love calling people out for it. I love it. I love calling people out for it because they'll be like, so what's your type? Oh, yeah, I like tall, dark, and handsome. Okay, so if some short, chubby, light-skinned guy came up to you and talked to you, oh, fuck no, I wouldn't date something like that. Like, absolutely not. So you're just as fucking shallow as me then. If you're going to call me shallow, you're shallow too. The fuck out of here. Like, yo, it's just like, I hate the hypocritical people. I hate the people that got some dumb shit to say because somebody else has an opinion. That's the whole point of why I went in for it, is because of the fact that I went in on this. It's just, I hate it when people always got something to say about somebody else's, like, their own attractors or somebody who has their own opinions about something. Like, if I sit there and say, well, I don't like Devil May Cry 5 as much as I like 4. I like Devil May Cry 4, which is true. I like Devil May Cry 4 better than 5. I do.
Well,
but people would say I'm a piece of shit.
That the man in my life, he is beautiful no matter what. He is fluffy. He walks on 4 legs. His tail wags whenever he sees me. He may lick a cat's ass every now and again, but I love him.
He stinks.
I don't care. He's gorgeous.
No, I can't stand people like that. I really just can't stand people who always got something to say about what somebody likes or what somebody doesn't like.
That's the internet for you, but everybody's fucking right. It's my opinion or it's my way or the highway.
Yeah, it's my way or you're an asshole. It's my way or you're an hysterophobe. Fuck those people, man.
But, you know,
seriously,
you're
fuck
right,
those
though.
people.
No one should, like, come at someone else over what their own preference is. Like, that's what makes us human. We all have different opinions.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just, you know, it's like we can all sit together and we can talk about things and we can appreciate everything and we can say, you know.
Yeah, and we can have intellectual conversations.
Exactly.
We don't have to, like, come at each other.
Bash each other just because of the fact that you like something that I don't like. Like, you know. It's fucking stupid. Like, there's just, and it's like, again, it's a few select people. It's not the overall population, but the majority is silent. The people who are doing this dumb shit are the loudest. They're the ones making that presence. Yeah. You got 98.9% of the population that doesn't give a flying fuck. We don't care. We're like, yo, just shut the fuck up. Like, you know, literally, like, it's literally just a matter of time. It's just like before people literally sit there and, like, once the masses start speaking and be like, oh, listen, you're not speaking for everybody. You're speaking for everybody who thinks like you. You're not speaking for the entirety of the American people. You're not speaking for 7 billion people on this earth. Honestly, you're speaking for you and your 100,000 bubble thinkers.
Honestly, I feel when people are like, well, I'm speaking for, no, you're speaking for yourself.
Exactly.
You're only speaking for you.
Exactly.
You're not speaking for everyone else.
There's not a single person on social media that's speaking for other people. No. You're speaking for yourself. Unless you are speaking a genuine fact. Yep. That does affect a lot of people, and a genuine fact, not a feeling fact, a genuine fact that does affect a lot of people on a regular basis, then you can say that you're speaking for other people. Like, if you, like, let's say, for example, like, you're speaking on behalf of people that voted for Joe Biden. Yep. You know what I mean? A lot of people voted for Joe Biden, so you are going to speak on for a lot of people. If you like Joe Biden for a specific reason that voted for him, and all those people felt like that, then you are speaking for them in that sense. But if you're not speaking for other people when you have an opinion about something, or you're trying to shame somebody for their opinion on something, you're not speaking for everybody. No. You're just not. You know what I mean? Like, you're not classified as anything but an asshole if that's what you do.
Yeah.
Bottom line. It's like, fuck that shit. I got an opinion. You don't like it? Fuck off. I don't care. Go fuck yourself.
Nicolai, like, you're very quiet. I feel you need to interject. I feel like you want to, but you're afraid
like 40
to.
minutes in, he hasn't said much. I feel bad.
Like, come on.
Yeah, it's my first time on the air doing any kind of podcast. I used to do videos back in the day, so I'm not too used to talking over the air, just, doing more action. So I'm kind of just getting a feel for it, learning.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We just pick random topics,
But if you feel like there's something that you're like, okay, I want to interject, like, by all means, we speak over each other all the freaking time.
Especially Susan.
Fuck off, Chris.
But was there any kind of female that you prefer? Do you prefer all natural? Do you prefer fake? I mean, what kind of women, what's your
I don't generally have a female preference. I just like truth and honesty,
There
And of course, I'm a man, so looks play a big factor for me when it comes to, picking who I'm going to be with romantically. But, those characteristics, the honesty, the truth, the being able to hold each other down go a long way over the characteristics of, okay, you got a fat ass, some nice titties, cute face,
I do feel like that's becoming, we talked about in the podcast with my, my previous girlfriend, but everybody here, more and more people out there are preferring the quote unquote more natural stuff I think I've been guilty of this myself, that as a teenager and in my 20s, we're all fucking young and dumb. Guys, think about when you're 17, TNA. My girlfriend that passed away years ago, when I knew her in high school, she said she was freaking had braces, bob cut hair, flat chested, had no kind of fucking body. I wouldn't give her
She had a nickname called Snowball the Gerbil.
I wouldn't give her time of day because all I cared about was fat ass and big titties. That's it. And I admit at 17 it was a fuck up. Like, fast forward 15 years later, I meet her at 32 years old, and I'm like, whoa, you turned out to be hot and shit. But also at 32, I realized that damn, it's sometimes your hair will turn gray, you will get fucking wrinkles. Them perfect fucking titties, eventually they will fucking sag a little bit and shit. Them looks will fucking fade.
Mine never will.
And you telling yourself that?
Baby.
But that's even my previous girlfriend. I would say to her, you definitely, as we get older, you start appreciating more of the personality versus the fucking physical stuff. Now, there definitely has to be some sort of attraction, no doubt. But what we're just saying that it can't be fucking one or the other. I don't think it's I don't know. It's we constantly fucking make this joke, especially with Junior here. It's if a chick is 423 pounds, the personality for me, it goes so far where I'm like, honey, do you mind eating a fucking salad once? Do you mind hitting a treadmill a little bit? Just saying,
No. Jesus Christ.
Keep in mind, your dad was sexually appealing to someone out there.
Oh, boy.
2 people. 2 people.
As much as I want to respond to that, I'm not going to. But that just makes me sick to my stomach. But it's just we have to understand is just the fact that it's but again, when in this current generation right now, it's attraction before personality. Yeah. It's physical attraction, but before mental and emotional attraction.
I think a lot of technology fucking too.
Well, it's not. I'm not blaming technology at all.
No, I think that's something that's always.
I'm so sick of blaming technology for so much shit. It's not technology. People are just more shallow than they want to admit. That's just all it comes down to. Yeah. When you look at somebody and be like, "That's the girl I want to fuck with," big titties, fat ass, good teeth, sexy toes, don't care. That's what it is. She's mine. All right. Then you fuck with her. And it's just damn, her personality sucks. Yeah. But you know what? I'm still going to fuck with her because she's cute and she's attractive and I'm not going to get a hotter looking girl than her. And it's just no, that's not how this works. Well, we need to, it's just and then it's just and it leads to the social media posts on Facebook. It leads to all the dumb shit that, everybody sees that a lot of people post. The guys will post, oh, that girl ain't shit. She could suck my dick. I'm about to go do this. And then you got women that say, niggas ain't shit. Swear to God. You look at physical attraction so heavy, you don't care about the mental attraction until you get into your first argument. Until you get into your first argument with a woman, you don't care about the personality. Mm-hmm. And it's just it's so ass backwards because it's you like somebody, you gotta fuck. It's not, oh, you like somebody, let me take you out. No, it's, oh, I like that person. Let me give him some pussy and let's see what happens. You know what I mean? It's just is he gonna like me if I give him pussy? Every guy's gonna fucking like you if you give him pussy. What the fuck?
Automatic.
It's just, but it's not gonna. What type of likeness are you trying to get out of this? Are you trying to get the likeness where it's all about sex? Or are you trying to get likeness of actual feelings? Because actual feelings from a guy, ladies, take fucking notes. Actual feelings from a guy does not come from consistent sex. Get the fuck over it. Like, it doesn't matter how good you think your pussy is. You're never going to get a guy's feelings from consistent sex. The only feelings that you're going to get from him is the sex he constantly wants, not emotions that keeps you together. Understand that. Like, it's not, this isn't hard. This isn't fucking rocket science. They have to know you to like you, not fuck you to like you.
Conversation with your genitals.
Exactly. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
Well, that's the thing. That's what they want. They're like, if we have sex, like, that'll lead to something more. No, because you need to actually build a relationship with this person before you ever have fucking sex with them.
There's no foundation.
Exactly.
The biggest problem of relationships in this generation is that there's no foundation. It's, I like somebody, let's fuck, and let's build from the sex. No, that's not how it works. Like, honestly, sex is supposed to be what keeps the foundation. I'm all for arranged
marriages.
No.
You can build from that. You can learn.
I mean, you can become, you can be a friend with that person for a longer period of time.
You can start like that friendship. You can start to see if you like the person. You can get to know this person before you actually ever have sex with them.
I mean, we have the freedom to do that without the arranged marriage. We just choose not to do it. Yeah, but that's their own fault. That's why
an arranged marriage would probably work better.
True.
Well, I was just saying technology because I felt like before we had the social media and our phones or apps and stuff, it's like back in the day you actually had to, like, you know, unless you went to a bar and fuck somebody that night. For the most part, the whole thing with courting somebody, like, you had to get to know a person, and even like when things were kind of rocky, and this is, I feel like, the problem with relationships nowadays is how many fucking people, like, somebody, whether it's like anything goes fucking wrong in a relationship, instead of working on it, it's just like, well, you know what, I'll just dump her, I'll dump him, and hop on fucking Tinder and get somebody new.
Yeah.
Because now with social media and now with, like, technology, it's like, you know, my girlfriend, my wife, my boyfriend, my husband, we broke up, and within, like, I see the whole fucking time. I got divorced, a week later I got a boyfriend. Wait, because Jesus Christ, give us some time, but like, because now it's like I got divorced a week ago, now I'm on fucking Tinder or Match or just whatever. OnlyFans is just like, at least back in the fucking day, people had to take time. And even like girls back then, because of technology, they would actually, like, you know, hold out a little bit. Like very few women, some would be fucking bar whores, no doubt, but most women, you'd have to go on the whole 3-date rule, you know, 3 dates, 4 dates, get to know a fucking person. Now it's just like, you know, I can hop on whatever fucking app and stuff, and like, I want to fuck tonight, and like, before technology, you actually had to get to know people, because how many fucking people were just hooking up with random people? Some were, but I mean, overall though, now it's just people are fucking, that's what I said, people are disposable now because of technology. And that's like doing so with this generation, like Christian's age and stuff too. Now he's getting fucking, why should he have to go out to a bar? Why should he have to go out to fucking to a mall, a club, do anything when just, Dad, I can be 15 and fucking create a Facebook, then create a Tinder or Bumble or whatever, and never actually go out and meet fucking people.
Or Facebook dating. Even.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But just with all these things, like, people, there's like so much interaction that's not fucking person to person. And I've always said, like, I will have it as much as I have to, a texting conversation or a conversation over fucking, you know, Facebook Messenger. But I'm still old school. Like, I want to have a conversation. Let's sit down, grab a fucking drink, grab a coffee, and let's have a conversation face to face. I still feel like even in 2021, even conversations with Selena or her family or you guys, anybody here, I will have a conversation if we're both busy working over Messenger and shit. But like, if me and Junior talk about some real deep shit, I want to be there. Like, even fuck Xbox Live, I want to sit down with Junior in the car or just walk in the fucking park and have a deep conversation in person. The same thing with fucking knowing people. Too many people, it's like, it's still different. Like, because, like, you know, we talk about fucking tone and stuff, like we said all day. I can tell Junior fuck you in a text message, and he knows I'm joking because I'm his friend. Yeah. But seeing the text of fuck you, now what if your girlfriend says fuck you? That could be taken a whole list of ways and shit. The tone of saying fuck you in person, it's different. You can read that person's emotion. So how many times do relationships end or relationships go into rocky starts because my boyfriend or my girlfriend said these things during text? I'm like, that text, the tone fucking matters. You need to stop having entire relationships based on text messages. You need to fucking get in their face, interact with this fucking person. People
talk on the phone, not through text,
or check out their mannerisms. Like I said, people fuck. I feel like everybody here, like, and especially people I've met, you can tell people sometimes their emotions by their mannerisms as well. You can't tell mannerisms by fucking text message. You can sit there. I've done it myself. I can get a text message from somebody and ask Sue, Junior, fucking, and you, and I forget your name, sorry. Nicolai. Al, anybody. I can show a text message to 10 different fucking people, and 10 different people, can interpret that text message differently versus like, hey, I talked to Sue in person, and by Sue's mannerisms, I can tell how she felt, but you can't really tell emotion by a fucking text message. You know?
To add on what you just said, Chris, 100% right. But I'm going to say what you should have said to avoid saying all of that. People don't know how to talk outside of their phones.
Sure.
People don't know how to communicate and draw a proper conversation without texting. People don't know how to look into each other's eyes and say, hey, let's talk about this. Yeah. Nobody can do that. Well, I wouldn't say nobody, but the vast majority of this current generation and even even our generation, we don't know how to communicate. There's no way to talk. Like, it's just like when you talk, it's like, hey, like, remember when you said about Bumble and Tinder and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
There's a point to Bumble and Tinder. A point to Bumble and Tinder is to fuck. There's no other reason to go on there. You're not going on Bumble and Tinder to establish a relationship. You're going on Bumble and Tinder to fuck. That's bottom line. So, and another thing in this generation that makes it really hard to meet somebody, to get to know somebody, is every single time you go up to a woman and you say, hey, you're a good person. I feel like you're a good person. I feel like we would be a good match, to be friends. You want to go out and get a bite to eat or sometime at some point. They take that as he wants to fuck me. It doesn't matter if you're coming in with a friendly vibe. It doesn't matter what you're coming with. You can come with the friendliest of vibe in the world. You can be you can go to Denny's for a friend date. They'll still think he's trying to fuck me. Yeah. He's trying to get in my pants. He's trying everything he can to court me, to be in a relationship with me, because you're equating the good. These are things they don't even do with their boyfriend now. Like, they don't go out to dinner. They don't go out anywhere. They sit up underneath each other, fuck each other, and then disperse from each other. And then they come back, and that's all they ever do. They don't communicate. There's no communication. There's no date nights. There's none of that. The couples that last the longest, the couples that are the happiest, are the ones that can communicate to themselves outside of social media and outside of their phones.
All honesty, a lot of women will disagree with that, but that is the God's honest truth.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, every woman on the face of the planet, if a guy walks up to her and shows any form of interest as a friend, they will automatically consider it as he's trying to flirt with me, he's trying to fuck me, he's trying to do this. Any guy who's not related to them or has known them their entire life.
Exactly.
Like,
100%. It's true. 100%.
Like, I've been through it. The girl I work with, oh my God. Ugh. Don't even get me started on her. Man. But, like I said, a lot of women will disagree and say, oh, that's not how I am. No, that is how you are. That is what you do. Yeah. Every time. Every relationship.
Yeah.
And by relationship, I don't mean like actual, like sexual, physical, like romantic, any type of relationship like that. I'm talking like relationship, like friendship, all of it.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's like, it's the stipulation that people say that men and women can't be friends. We can be.
Yeah.
It's very possible. My best friend right now, Nicolai knows, is, this girl, her name, I call her Leah. I mean, a lot of people call her Leanna. I call her Leah still. Don't care. Whatever. But, she's been my best friend for, going on at least like 4 years now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we've gotten closer, and it seems like every day we get closer and closer. You know what I mean? Like, I go on her Facebook and I drop like 50 hearts on her timeline. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just explode her freaking timeline with like 50 hearts, right? Yeah. And then I'll just say at the very end of it, "K bye," and just like laugh it off and stuff like that. And other people would constitute me as being a guy who's fucking with her. You know what I mean? Because I'm doing shit like that, because I'm showing positive energy in our friendship, that they would believe that I'm actually actively trying to fuck her. Yeah. If she was here in this podcast right now, she would tell you, I have never made a move on her since the day I met her. And I met her back in 2015. Yeah. And I've never made a move on her since day one. Not because she's not attractive. You know what I'm saying? Because she is. She's definitely attractive. She has an amazing fucking body. But
there's a difference.
She's my best friend. You know what I mean? And I compliment her all the time. Yeah. I have so much respect for her. Like, more so than a lot of women that I met in my life. And as a lot of people know, I know a lot of women And it's just like, and I know that, like, I know a lot. I've hung out with a lot of women. I've been around a lot of women. It's like, you know, I have more friends that are women than guys. Like Chris, Nicolai, and like I can count 3 others are friends that are guys. Other than that, it's women. Like I live with 2 women. Like it's just like there's women are in my life, you know what I mean? Like they have a heavy presence in my life. So when I say things, I'm not, you know, when I say certain things, I'm not saying it because I just think I know what I'm talking about. It's because my life is surrounded by women. Like it's like, you know, that's just what it is, you know what I mean? Like it's like that I'm the living embodiment proof that you can be friends with a woman. Like as a straight man, as somebody who's been around a lot of women, who's someone who's I've taken women on friend dates. You know, I've done that. I've been like, yo, let's go get a bite to eat. We go get a bite to eat, and then we just go our separate ways. We don't do anything else. You know, we sit there, we talk, we laugh, we do shit, and then we just go our separate ways. I don't try to hook up with them. I don't try to do anything. I just want a friendship, because being friends with the opposite, it's like being friends with the opposite gender gives you an opportunity to learn. Like you learn so much being friends with the opposite gender, because it's like and it's not learning things like from street value. It's not learning things from book value. It's just learning things in general. It's learning communications. It's learning just, you know, everyday life, you know what I'm saying? Learning dialogue. Yeah. Like it's things that you learn that's very important in your everyday life. And it's just like women are nurturing. Women, for the most part, women are very nurturing, like especially as friends. They're very nurturing. Yeah. Having them in your life is very like a very special thing. You know what I mean? And it's just like, that's why building a friendship before a relationship is the most important thing ever. Because if you don't build a friendship, then you're not going to have a relationship. Because if your relationship is started and based solely on sex, there is no relationship. Yeah. If there's no friendship, if there's no value in the relationship, the only value in the relationship is the pussy you got from day one. That's it. If there's no friendship on there, that your relationship is now officially valued based on the sex you get. Your relationship no longer has any friendship value to it. And that's what a lot of people don't see. And that's what a lot of people don't understand in this generation.
Well, and I've had times myself where it's like I've had previous friends where it's like the second we cross that boundary of like becoming intimate or anything, I'm like, man, I wish we could go back to being friends. Like there's plenty, and a lot of people go through that shit where it's like you go through it yourself, where it's like some people, if you're friends with this person, don't fucking cross that boundary, because like, if you cross that boundary, you're risk losing your friendship. And I've had people in the past where I lost friends because of that. Like I've had people where I wish I never fucking kissed her, wish I never like slept with her, because I just, yeah, once you fuck cross that friendship boundary, there's no fucking going back. Some people there is, but for a lot of people there isn't.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say for a lot. I would say for some. For some people, they can't go back once they've done things that friends don't normally do, because friends don't normally fuck each other. That's just what it is. Like friends don't normally fuck.
Yeah.
So if you are with a woman and you have sex with that woman, you can't go back to being friends. There's just no way. That's you personally. You know what I mean? That's you personally. So you don't ever give off that vibe that you want to hook up with them, because that's how you are. Me personally, and I believe, Nicolai, we're kind of like on that same wavelength, where it's just like us personally, we don't dictate our relationship status with a woman based on sex. We don't base our relationship status with a woman if we hook up with them. Once we hook up with them, our feelings don't manifest. Our feelings don't manifest from that. Even if it was great sex, it could have been the best sex in the world, but our feelings don't manifest from that. What our feelings manifest from is the actions that they do within a relationship that's affectionate. And when they do something in a relationship that makes us want to invest our emotions into that, because of investing emotions into a relationship for us is like investing our money. Like, we value money and love pretty much the same as men. You know what I mean? Like, as men, we value that. Like, we value money and love, like really right there. You know what I mean? So, and especially like somebody like us, as blue collar people, we valued every dollar. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I speak for blue collar men in a sense that we value every dollar. So our emotions is like money. Yeah. If we invest our emotions, we're investing our money. You know what I mean? And it's just like, that's why it's just like, it's important to have dialogue. It's important to have communication. Now, there's a lot of women that don't appreciate that communication either. Even if you have that communication, there's a lot of women that don't appreciate that communication. Like, you'll communicate with them, then they'll act like they didn't fucking hear it. They'll talk to you and they'll completely ignore it. They'll beg you to open up. They'll beg, like, literally. There's so many times that women have come up to me and they'll be like, Will, I don't know a lot about you. There's no reason for you to know a lot about me. We're friends. You know what I mean? I'm hanging out with you. We're cool. I'm not crossing no boundaries with you. Like, we're hanging out. We go out to eat every once in a while. We catch up. We chill. That's it. You don't need to know my emotions. You don't need to know what's going on mentally or emotionally. Like, yeah, we confide in each other for friends.
Yeah, they're not the type of women that you're going to sit there and go to Longhorn Steakhouse with them. And then, like, when their cousin tells you that they got a hotel room, you're not going to, like, harass them all night about, like, why they're bringing dessert back to the hotel room that they never did.
Something like that. So, it's like, we have there's so much that a lot of people just don't get. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to work a relationship. They don't know what a relationship truly is. What they truly know at the end of the day is just, hey, like, I just want to fuck with this person. You know what I mean? Like, I want to talk. That's the shit that pisses me off. Oh, I'm talking to them. The fuck is talking? What are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, you want to say that. Oh, so what are you talking about? No, I'm like, I'm dating them, but like, I'm talking to them. You're okay. So you're fucking with him then? Like, you're with him? Well, I'm not with him. I'm talking to him. The fuck's the difference? Like, you know what I mean? Because you're mad if he goes off and fucks another bitch, right? Yeah. So you're in a relationship. If you're gonna be upset that he goes off and talks to another girl, you're not just talking. Shut the fuck up about that talking shit. Mm-hmm. Leave I'm talking to him or I'm talking to her back in fucking 2015. Please. Like, enough is enough of that. Like, it's the stupidest fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
Can we just talk?
I'll move on from that because that was pretty good, Jer. But I agree with technology. Technology is changing not just like relationship statuses, but like everything. How we fucking work, how we pay our bills, how we get our food, everything we're doing. And it's getting scary. It's just, I'm not sure.
I'm mad that you just looked at me like that when you're like, how we get our food.
I just happy you're looking over there, but everything, because we talked about like me and Junior said last podcast, just me and him talking about like, it feels like the more technology is getting heavy, that they're almost pushing socialism, because it's like every fucking week I keep reading about more and more jobs being cut because of technology, and they're pushing unemployment to be higher and higher and higher, and now people are making more money that aren't working than people that are working. So it's like it's giving people incentive to not work. So I'm like, well, if everybody's not working, if every fucking week less jobs, the thing is like they're cutting more jobs, not creating fucking new ones. So you're creating more and more fucking thousands of people every single fucking week not working. So it's like,
see, they do that, but then okay, take my job for example. Like where me and my one coworker work, we're the only two people on our staff. But that's because we have to be the only two people on our staff. Yeah. The store that we came from, in comparison, they lost the two of us. Another role left. One guy, he cut his hours back drastically. The assistant manager, she cut her hours back drastically. And they were only told they could rehire one more person.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't even, make up for the amount of hours that they've lost.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that situation, that's one situation. But, we'll break down between Domino's, between New York fucking state with the tolls and stuff, between, we're seeing more restaurants now, more and more fucking places, even like me with the transportation industry. More and more fucking places are getting on technology where they're getting more fucking robots, more drones, and
you go into McDonald's now, you have a freaking kiosk there that you can go and order your food at and pay through the kiosk. You don't even need the person at the register anymore. Yeah. So that's one more person you can take away.
So it's it's just changing the way fucking people where we're interacting with each other, we're living our lives, and it's just gonna. I don't know. It's not looking to be fucking bright, because it's more people are just sitting home and just on their fucking phones all day, and
there's no incentive to work. It's not even so much as jobs being taken. There's plenty of jobs still available.
Yeah, we're just saying
there's no incentive.
With the whole relationship thing, there's no incentive to want to work out your relationship or work out your marriage, because fuck, I'll break up with this bitch, and next week or next day, because of apps on my phone, I just meet somebody else.
Yeah.
See, that's partially false, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to partially refute that statement. While I agree to some extent that you're doing that, most of the time, if you're talking to somebody, if you're in a relationship with somebody, right? If you're in a relationship and you're dating somebody, and by the time you break up with that person, you're with somebody else less than 2 days later, it's because you've already been talking to that person.
Yeah.
Which means that you were already cheating and you were already doing what you weren't supposed to be doing in your current relationship to have another one already lined up by the time that happens.
Yeah. And that's what goes back to technology being the problem in my case, because if you're doing those things in your relationship before it breaks up, you're giving up before the relationship stopped. So basically, you're already in your technology looking for the attention of others that you could be seeking from your spouse, or going to your spouse and saying, hey, I feel so-and-so, could you give me more attention when, X, Y, and Z presents itself?
Yep.
I mean, like you're saying,
put.
I agree with you. Like, okay, back in the fucking day, yes, like, when your girlfriend's at work, your husband's at work or something, you could be out the fucking, like, Denny's to the club to the fucking bar. I'm not saying the motive wasn't out there, but I'm saying it's easier now because, like, now when your girlfriend's at work, you can sit home and, like, hey, now my girlfriend's, she's not here right now, she's at a friend's house, cool. Let me fucking pop on Bumble or Tinder. It's like now people...
Let me send a dick pic on Tinder.
I'm just saying, like, or I can make a second Instagram account or something, or an OnlyFans. I'm just saying, like, technology made it's like before, even, like, it's like... I'm just saying, like, your options now are that much more available because of technology. Before, at least you had to go out to a fucking bar and actually meet a fucking person. Yeah. You had to go out to a club or talk to friends. You actually had to physically get to know somebody. Now it's just like, fuck, I can sit home all fucking day and hop on just such and such and such.
Let me manipulate this girl with my sweet words that I looked half of them up on Google.
And then fucking some guys and some girls have their fucking phones locked, so their partner can't fucking get into their phone. And then like, why girlfriend's taking a shower or something, or she's at Price Choppers, or she's going out paying fucking bills for 2 hours at a time, or your husband, you're on your apps and shit too. Because before, if your girl was gone for 2 hours, you'd have to like make up excuses and lies to where you were going. Now it's saying it's made it that much more easier to make relationships fucking disposable. It's like, because nobody wants to try anymore. Because like, it's my relationship, I broke up with somebody, fuck, I just hop on my app and stuff, and I'll get somebody new by tomorrow. It's like or even fucking sex is like sex, food, everything. Before, like, Joe Rogan would make that point, like, human beings would have to get out and fucking grow food, hunt food. You have to go fucking 2-3 days to hunt a deer, track a fucking deer down, kill it. Then once you fucking kill it, skin it and stuff, go through the process of taking the meat out. Now it's just like, you can go to any McDonald's, Wendy's, anywhere and get a hamburger within 10 fucking seconds. It's like, our technology is making, our bodies have not evolved in the past 4,000 years. But now it's just because, remember, back in the fucking day, getting a piece of meat was a privilege, Now anybody can go to a fucking corner store and get a goddamn beef patty, It's like
camel meat.
Yeah.
Or like, just imagine back in the day, these people, like, any one of us could right now go around the corner, go get fucking 4 double quarter pounders and fucking just slob out and shit, People not that long ago, to get that kind of fucking meat would take these guys a month.
Yeah.
Or go into freaking like the Chinese place and get like 4 pork egg rolls.
Right. And now it's even fucking worse because unemployment, now you have to do it, because at least like I have to go to work tomorrow to earn a fucking paycheck to buy food. Now because unemployment, I ain't gotta fuck even do that. I gotta wake up, scratch my fucking balls, make a cup of coffee and shit, and then just like go
hop on Uber Eats and just like type in what it is that you want to get.
Fucking type in 2 large fucking pizzas and just sit home all goddamn day, and then wonder why obesity and fucking laziness and all these health problems are
but in my defense, my Five Guys experience today was amazing, except for the fact that the motherfucker went to the wrong location.
But it is that's the whole point that Rogan's made in different podcasts, is like, our technology, it's making things too easy for us, and this is why our bodies, like I told Junior's laughing, but it's true though. They've broken down like COVID. They've said that 80% of COVID, no bullshit, of all, according to the CDC, that 80% of COVID cases were people that were overweight and obese.
Yeah.
So why haven't my fucking dad got COVID-19 yet? Like, what the fuck? Like, dude, it's like, what the fuck?
It's because he's wrapping his legs.
Yeah, fuck. Like, it's
that like shut him up for like 5 seconds. Wow.
Oh my god! Like, it's just like, all this shit of not being good for fat people. Yet this fuck still stands.
It's because he loses track of what he's eating. That's why he hasn't COVID-19.
That's because God hates you. That's why.
Yeah, I think my karma's starting to catch up to me. So I've been such a dick my whole life.
Well, okay. So I have a 13-year-old turning 14 soon. Here's a good one. Grandmother of shot 12-year-old Brooklyn boy says, "It's kill or be killed now. That's wonderful to fucking know.
Wow.
So New York City is now a place to kill or be killed. It says a grandmother of a 12-year-old boy who actually miraculously survived after being shot in the fucking chest. And the neighborhood is a neighborhood. It happens all the time. The shot boy's grandmother said, now in the city, it's kill or be killed. He was a normal grandson. He's just a normal kid who likes basketball. And her and her grandson were talking a little bit at the hospital where he's recovering from a gunshot wound to the chest. So, damn. It was lucky that he didn't hit any vital organs. He was going to a corner store at 9:50 at night, and let's see. They the police found fucking 5 shell casings at the corner store. He only got hit 1 out of 5, so. He ducked into a nearby liquor store after being shot and asked for help, prompting the owner to call 911. So, yeah, it's good fucking 12-year-old kid freaking have to worry about going to the store and getting fucking shot, so.
Yep, and nobody wants to talk about that because there's more of an issue of because there's more cops killing black people in the world than we killing ourselves, right? That makes a lot of sense.
Look at the parenting too. At 12 o'clock, 9:50, I would have been in the house going to the store. My mom would have been like, "Get your ass in the house."
That's hard though, because like I told Junior, like I grew up mostly with Junior's uncles, like Willie, Claire, and everybody. We could, at least around here.
Yeah, but in this day and age, though, it's New York City.
No, but that's how bad things are.
9:50 at night, you're 12 years old, you're going to the store?
Right now, I wouldn't trust Christian to fucking walk to the corner store at 8 o'clock at night. I'm saying back in the day, not too long ago, I'm only fucking 8 years older than Junior. I grew up with his uncles, his Carlton, Clarendon, marketing buddy.
Oh, yeah.
We would walk from here to Madison Avenue. Madison Avenue, for anybody listening, is about 4 blocks from here. We could walk back at 11 o'clock at night from Madison Avenue to Elk Street and be fucking fine. Now, right now, I wouldn't do that with the 4 of us.
Chris, how late was it when I'm walking down from work?
I don't know.
Like years ago.
Yeah.
You were with me half the time.
Oh, a lot of that's luck.
Well, here's the thing. Like there's obviously higher crime rates in certain areas than there are in others, right? Like on Central Ave. In Central Ave, you're not that likely to walk down Central Ave, no matter what part of Central Ave, and have something happen to you, right?
True.
Now, if you go First and Quail, at 12:30 at night, more than likely going to have something happen to you, as opposed to Second and Judd, First and Quail, First and Lexington. Yeah. Like these blocks, these areas, more prone for you to have something happen to you in those areas than if you were just to go on New Scotland Ave at 1 o'clock in the morning.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean? I can walk New Scotland Ave at 4 o'clock in the morning. Nothing's gonna happen to me. You know what I mean? Like nothing. I'll get attacked by a fucking wild animal before I get attacked by somebody. You know what I'm saying?
The raccoons are coming for you.
Yeah. So I'll get attacked by something else before other people. The thing, see, what she said, kill or be killed. Yeah. When she said that, you know what I mean? Notice there's no outrage. Wasn't on the front pages of anything. Mm-hmm. No media coverage. No sort of like, you know what I'm saying? Like no sort of like any sort of time spent on Spectrum News or anywhere else. You know where that was? Deep into like probably the 45th article on the New York Post. You know what I mean? These things don't get talked about.
They don't.
But you know what does get talked about? You know what does hit the front pages though?
Oh, yeah.
What hits the front pages is that cop killing a black man. That's going to hit front pages. You know what I mean? Now, again, I understand the severity of cops needing to be held accountable. Yeah. You know what I mean? I said this in the last podcast and I'll say it again. Over 7,000 cases against police officers, 3% of them have been charged and convicted over the past 15 years. Only 3% out of over 7,000 cases. That's horrific. That is a ridiculous statistic. Like it is horrible. Horrible. All right. 30% of those convictions, they took a lesser charge. 30% of those convictions. So out of that 3%, 30% of them took a lesser charge, which isn't that big of a number. But it's just like the average jail time that they've done is anywhere between 6 months to 2 years. Still getting back on the force afterwards. They don't fear consequence. They don't fear consequence as being civil servants. And that's what nobody's talking about. We're only looking at the action and not what leads to this action. not where it needs to change, not just it's going to happen regardless of what the fuck we do. There's third world countries around the world where police killings are at triple the rates, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times the rates that it is in the United States. Venezuela is the number one example I want to say. I've done research on this. Since 2011, Venezuela had 8,000 deaths by cops. 8,000. Not a single charge was filed against police officers in the last 5 years. In Venezuela, they're averaging 100 to 1 on deaths in Venezuela from their cops to ours. They don't give a fuck. Like, it's a police state. Mm-hmm. You think it's bad here? It's borderline civil war status there. But nobody talks about that.
What was the numbers you're saying, Junior?
Huh?
What was the numbers you're saying? I'm Googling right now.
No, if you look up, I think it's Venezuela. I'm pretty sure it's Venezuela. I believe is leading the world in cop killings right now.
It says, according to this article, this comes from www.hrw.org. This says, police and security force have killed nearly 18,000 people in Venezuela in instances of alleged resistance to authority since 2016. So the past 5 years, they killed 18,000 people.
That's an average of 3,000 a year. Do you know how many black people get killed per year in the United States from black people? 325 on average. 325 on average per year with cops. But it's 3,000, literally 10 times the amount, 10 to 1 in Venezuela. It's 325 here a year. And it's 3,000 a year in Venezuela. Nobody understands that. Like, nobody is looking at that, you know, but you want to know what they're looking at. You want to know what they're thinking about. You want to know what they're saying is we're getting butchered according to the media, because the media is race baiting everything. So according to the media, thousands of black people in the United States are dying to police officers every year. And it's not the case. It's actually the complete opposite. 75% of about 80% of the homicides that happen to black people is in inner city communities. Let's talk about it.
But they don't want to.
Let's talk about it. Really, let's talk about it. If that is not a problem, but these isolated incidences of white cops killing black people is the biggest problem, but it's not the biggest problem that 80% of black deaths through homicide or in inner city communities, we don't want to talk about that though. No, we never want to talk about that. That's something we sweep under the rug. How the fuck do you sweep 80% of the problem under the rug and only focus on the 3%?
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. Am I missing something? Again, I understand. I'm devil's advocate. I'm going to look at both sides. The cops need to be held accountable at a much larger pace. Because again, I'm going to look at it from the side of the people. How did it take a worldwide protest and a 13-city riot to convict one cop of murder? And then we can look at it from the other side. How does it take 15 minutes to send a black man to jail on false charges for 27 years?
Yeah.
So let's look at it from that side. Let's talk about this. Stop sweeping issues under the rug. Let's talk about it. If you don't want to talk about these things, if these things make you uncomfortable, Black lives does not matter to you.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
I said it last episode and I'm going to say it again. These are the issues that nobody wants to talk about. These are the problems that's there. We are not a police state. Venezuela is a police state.
Yeah, we're getting there. That's what's scary.
No, we're not. It's actually less than it was. 2015 was the year that it was bloodiest for black people and cops. That was 2015. 428 black people were shot and killed by police officers in 2015. That was the bloodiest year of black people to police officer deaths. Philando Castile was one of them. Yeah. Not a single riot for that. That dude took 4 shots to the chest and he was fully compliant by police officers. Nobody raged for that. And that was caught on video too. The shooting, everything was caught on video. He was right in front of his daughter. His 4-year-old daughter. He took 4 shots to the chest. Why did nobody rage about that? Was that not important? Isn't that a black life that was lost by a police officer who was fully compliant with a police officer?
Yeah, it's funny how they pick and choose.
So we can just pick and choose what we're getting mad at now? No. See, a lot of it had to do with COVID-19. When we stuck in the house for so long, we couldn't do shit. Nothing was open. Nobody was busy. You know what I mean? Who was working?
Yep.
Nobody. Like
we're on their phones all day.
9%. Yeah, 9% of the American population was working for like 6 months.
Yeah.
So then what
That's
happens?
what really made everything worse.
So what do you think is going to happen when all of a sudden the media puts all across everything? George Floyd got kneed on his neck for 9 minutes. For how many minutes? Like 9 minutes, and he was killed by that police officer through negligence and through excessive force.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think spawned a national outrage, a worldwide outrage?
Yeah.
What do you think spawned that? Nobody was doing shit for
talking about it.
Yeah, it got so bad that other countries were talking about it because nobody was doing shit for 6 fucking months. But when we were all working, we were all doing shit. How big was that protest for Philando Castile?
What makes it kind of funny though, it's like how like other countries they're already over COVID. We're still bad on COVID. Like I just seen yesterday, the UK just had a concert, a fucking I forgot what. I'll look it up a second. They had a freaking rock concert, 30,000 people.
Yeah,
30,000 people attended a fucking concert. Yet right now, still in America, in April of 2021, we can't get fucking 4 of us to go to a goddamn McDonald's without people freaking out at masks and shit and lockdowns and this and that. Like they just had a
Florida
concert.
and Texas have both reopened and lifted the mask law, and they have not. Their cases have gone down.
Yeah,
their cases have gone down, and no one there like. It's not mandatory that people wear masks. Some people still do.
Some businesses still do the mask mandates, though.
Yeah, but
some businesses still do.
It's not as. It's more open than it is here in New York.
Yeah.
Or like Massachusetts, or maybe Connecticut, or like anywhere up here in the Northeast.
Yeah.
That's also a fuck problem too with our country. Why does Florida have one mandate, but then New York has one mandate, but then California has one mandate?
Because the power is in the states. It's not in the powers in the states. The power is not with the federal government. The power is with the states, which would arguably speaking, what is the point of the fucking federal government? But here's the thing. The federal government handles things on a countrywide basis, as opposed to the states handling things state by state.
Yeah.
So we can only look at
handle
Cuomo.
Things city by city.
Exactly. So we only need to just look at Cuomo and just say, hey, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, Cuomo really doesn't give a fuck anyways. I mean, how many people died due to COVID-19 in New York State because he stuck them in nursing homes?
Yeah. Oh, he didn't give a fuck. He already doesn't care. Like, it's like between the whole sex scandals and the shit that's going on with fucking, and the shit that's going on with the elderly people, like, he just doesn't give a fuck anymore, to be honest with you. So
And tons of people have asked him to just step down from office, like people in the Democratic Party, people in the Republican Party, people in third-party parties have all asked him to step down, and he's refusing.
Oh, if he gets voted in for another term, guess who's the problem?
Exactly.
We are.
Exactly.
Because we are just as much of the problem as the politicians, and I said that numerous times, and I'll say it again. We are just as much of a problem in this country as the politicians themselves, because we allow ourselves to not think outside the box. We allow ourselves to be completely controlled by a headline and not influenced by a story.
Sorry, I was wrong. New York Post. 50,000 fans, 50 fucking thousand, attend rock concert in COVID-free New Zealand. So,
wow.
Oh, New Zealand has been COVID-free for a while.
More than 50,000 people.
New Zealand's
gathered.
by Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
To the
band
Northwest
660, never heard of them. SX60 has been playing to huge crowds across the country, and its Saturday tour finale in Auckland's biggest stadium was billed as the largest concert in the world since the pandemic began. It wasn't just the Kiwi rock fans who got together this weekend, with 78,000 fans packed into a stadium in neighboring Australia for an Aussie Rules football match on Sunday. So Australia had a fucking football match with 78,000 fucking fans.
Yeah, they've been COVID-free for about 4 months now. They haven't had a single case in 4 months.
But yeah, but it said we're still in fucking New York State, and like the 4 of us can't fucking go into a to a Denny's together without worrying about like being 6 feet apart and shit.
Well, we could go in. We just have to be seated further away from other people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's, again, we all you can do is just look at media. You can look at government just oversaturating shit, and it's just the fact that people follow suit. Yeah. Because, again, we are affected by headlines and not influenced by the story. And until that dynamic is not going to change.
That's what's fucked up is, like, you know, during this pandemic, like, not just, well, we've said this before, and even like Stern, Kitchen Howard Stern and Robin said that, like, even Robin's just like, we're the greatest country in the fucking world. We're still last in COVID. Yep. Last. Like, we're the greatest country in the fucking world. We're fucking, they just had a concert, 50 fucking thousand people.
If we're the greatest country in the world, why aren't we still out of COVID yet?
So
and you can't blame the people.
So right now, quote unquote, third world fucking countries are battled COVID better than we did.
Yep.
Like not even just.
Would you consider Australia and New Zealand third world countries?
New Zealand is Australia now.
Well, I could probably pull up other countries though. The point is the point is every country in the fucking world, we're still last. Like, okay, like they're doing great, but other countries, we can pull out countries that are poorer than us that still have these COVID fucking problems. And fuck the part is now the state, like, why isn't it said New York State and California and Texas, and this shit's fucking ass backwards.
It's because
not Texas, because like I said, Texas and Florida have reopened.
It's look at all, but you know, let's go into conspiracy theories a little bit. So let's look at these corporations that continue to get richer. Like let's look at all these people that's continuously getting more and more and more money.
Purell.
You know, look at all these people. They're getting so much more money. How much more money are they trying to go?
Clorox, Lysol, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, look at how everything is happening. Like, look at all these companies and all these corporations making more and more money. That let's throw some theories out there.
And we're the biggest consumer country in the world. So when you look at it, how much are we buying worth of Lysol and hand sanitizer and face masks?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes you wonder.
How much more money do these corporations want to make until, hey, fuck it, let's just open shit up like regular again? The casinos are actually open up regular in New York State now. Casinos have completely lifted their restrictions. It's just that they're not staffed enough.
Yeah.
So that's why, like Rivers, for example, Rivers doesn't even have the staff to be open 24 hours right now.
No.
So they can't, even though they can be, they can't because there's not enough staffing. Nobody wants to work. There's no incentive. There's no, when you want to sit at home and you make more money sitting at home than you do dealing cards for 40 hours, who wants to go work? You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it's like, you know, people say it's just like, you know, and again, where do you look?
They opened their deck finally back up.
Yeah.
And you can, like, you know, pull your mask down, and if you smoke, you can go out there and smoke.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, with the exception of the mask mandate, they lifted all restrictions. So, and they lifted their time frames. So casinos are like that. But here's where, you know, going back to what I was saying before about, you know, the whole working thing, it's just the fact that it was ass backwards on how they handled everything because they weren't even handling working people correctly.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, if we were getting bonuses every week for working, you know how much people would be filling out applications right now? Oh, so I'm getting a check and I'm getting a bonus every time I'm working?
Yeah, it's funny too how the whole like essential workers, as somebody who was essential worker, I've had no time off since fucking COVID, how different states and different companies and different different corporations were giving some people fucking hazard pay. Some of us like me weren't getting a goddamn dime.
Yeah. Nothing. Nothing.
I don't think Robert did either, working at CVS.
Yep.
There's no incentive. And nobody's even looking at that. There's, again, issues that we're sweeping under the rug. It's like, during this whole entire pandemic, you mean to tell me that you could not give our essential workers more money the entire time, who were out there risking our lives
and like
to do that?
And you know, that's the saddest part. Like, we could get pissed off over the fact that, okay, Chris stayed on the entire time. Robert stayed on. Well, Robert had to travel to other stores when the riot happened because of what happened to his store.
Still the point, though.
But we can get pissed off that they didn't get hazard pay, they didn't get like raises or anything along those lines. What about someone like Jamie?
Sure.
Yeah, nurses. Yep.
Jamie, our cousin Vicky, like.
But I'm saying all essential workers. I'm leaving anybody out of this. I'm literally saying everybody.
But I'm saying like the people who are at the forefront of it,
Yeah.
like doctors, nurses, those types of people.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're the ones who are more at risk than anyone else.
Yep.
And what compensation did they get?
Nothing. But the fact that they're working.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And it's like, yes, it's horrible because Chris is around the public and he's driving the bus and so on. Robert's out in the public and he's having to be around all these people who are coming in and getting, like, you know, buying up all the Clorox, buying up all the hand sanitizer, buying up all the Lysol. People walking in getting their freaking prescriptions. Now he's around people who are walking in to get the freaking shots and stuff, or COVID tests. But why is it that it's bad that they didn't get it? It's even worse that the nurses and doctors and whoever else didn't.
I think it's just bad all around. I think it's just bad all around because it's like, what incentive do people have? It's like when the nurse down in New York City got fucking harassed because she had a OnlyFans because she couldn't support her family being a nurse. Yeah. How the fuck, as a lifesaver, you can't support your family? Yeah. You're a legitimate lifesaver, and you have to get an OnlyFans to support your family.
Well, the funny part, she was living on her own.
Yeah.
Living on her own. She so fucking couldn't afford an apartment down in New York City.
Yeah.
Living on her own. Without kids, without husband, without family, on her own.
Yeah.
In terms of like the fucking America, that in Texas, because of fuck the border of Mexico, this is the biggest fucking thing that people, immigrants and tourists come in is New York City. So they were hit the hardest.
Speaking of Texas, I will say this again. Tim Boyd, that is his name, Tim Boyd, the mayor of Colorado City, Texas, is literally the voice of every politician in this country. When he said, when his city was struck with a natural disaster that killed thousands of people. And what did he say?
Yep.
Stop asking me for a handout. It's survival of the fittest. Take care of yourselves and your family. Bet he was well taken care of.
Yeah.
Bet everybody took care of him. Bet all that ice melted off of his house as soon as it hit.
Yeah.
But thousands of families, thousands of people dying, freezing to death. Houses catching on fire because they use their grill in the house to keep warm.
Yeah. That was funny.
You know what I mean? Like, he spoke the voice and the words of every other politician in this country.
Now, my sister, of course, I've said this before, I'll say it again. My sister, her kids, they all live in, like, Fort Worth, Texas, where it got hit the worst.
Yeah.
And, of course, when it got hit, like, people are losing power.
Yep.
People are losing heat, electricity, everything. And 2/3 of these places, the landlords are running half the houses on these freaking windmills. Now, the windmills are supposed to be eco-friendly.
Mm-hmm.
They're still being run on oil.
Mm-hmm.
How are they still getting run on oil when they're supposed to be eco-friendly?
The oil is eco-friendly.
My niece, her apartment is run through the windmills. Like, she lost her electricity. She lost her heat. She lost everything. She had to stay with her mom until everything got turned back on. So, for a freaking, like, mayor, governor, whoever the fuck this guy is, to sit there and say, like, you know, it's survival of the fittest, blah, 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 blah. Okay, my niece was fine. She was with her mom. Her mom was able to keep her there until her apartment was set back up. What about all the people who don't have family there?
That died.
Flat
out died. It wasn't even like it. I mean, it's people were literally freezing to death right in front of each other. Like,
and
it was
it's like Fort Worth got hit like back to back to back with that shit because first there was that huge ass freaking like car accident that happened there that went up on the news.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 100 freaking cars piled up on the freaking highway, literally 5 minutes from my sister's house.
Yeah.
Then the freaking ice storm. Then the freaking shit with the freaking windmills, the turbines.
Because they're an independent energy source.
Yeah.
Because the East and the West have their own energy source that they do. And Texas decided to say, well, we don't want to be a part of that. We're going to be our own individual energy source.
Well, some of them. See, that's the thing. Some of the houses have that. Some of the houses don't.
Yeah.
Because my sister still runs on the regular, old-fashioned freaking, like, heating and electric.
Yeah.
Plus, she has a freaking fireplace in her house. She's, like, doing okay there.
Yeah.
But, like... And of all her kids, her oldest daughter, my niece, she was the only one to, like, lose electricity and shit.
But the source, in that entire state, though, their energy, their heat, their electricity comes from an independent source. Now, what source that is, I have no idea. But Texas, the entire state of Texas, they don't have energy coming in from the East or the West. It's part of the United States. They have their own individual energy source there.
Yeah.
So when that shit like that happens, they can't get help from anywhere in the country.
Yeah.
They have to solve their own problems themselves. But they can get monetary help from the federal government to help them with this situation.
Yeah.
But in terms of the energy sources, they have to figure that problem out for themselves. And that guy didn't give a flying fuck
Hell no.
about his people at all. like at all. Like it was.
And people wonder why I don't like politicians.
Like he made it evidently clear. Like it was just like. It's like, it's one thing if you beat around the bush and you're just like, like you're like Nancy Pelosi, who just looks like a fucking skeleton on TV. Yeah. And she's just like, and she's sitting there saying how much, how she's still, it's like, fucking 5 months since Biden's been in office and you're still blaming Trump for problems. And it's just like, it's like she's another one of those women that just can't take accountability for her own fuck ups. Like,
see, that's the problem is it's both sides. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's both sides. Like, the Democrats suck, the Republicans suck.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone, and when you say that, they're, like, both sides come at you, and they're like, no, you're wrong, it's them. No, you're wrong, it's them. No, you're wrong, y'all fucking suck.
That's what I've said since this podcast fucking started. We don't give a shit what side you're on. I care about fucking poor people versus rich people. Because the four of us are fucking poor.
So there was this guy, I forgot his name. He came to the house, he's trying to get votes, he's like trying to get into like city council. Mm-hmm. And he's going around to like all the different houses. He's like trying to collect votes. And like, you know what? Kudos to the guy. I hope he does get in. Like, he seems like a really nice guy. I sat on the porch with him for a good like 15 minutes, explained to him why I don't vote, as he's trying to like get me to say I will. And I'm like, dude, like, trust me, I'm not for the Democrats. I'm not for the Republicans. I'm not going to sit here and agree with someone if I don't agree with your views. And I don't agree with either one of them's views at this point because they are so against each other that's all they care about.
And they're against the American people.
Exactly, both sides.
You're not only against each other, but you're also against the general population. Because what they constitute to be Americans is the people that are rich and that can help them. They don't constitute the backbone of America to be Americans. And they don't constitute the vast majority of Americans in this country to be Americans.
And the funniest part was I looked right at him. I'm like, you listen to any freaking politician, they automatically try to pit everyone against each other based off of race, religion, sex orientation, whatever. What's the real thing what is the true evil among it all? There's the rich, the middle class, and the poor. And everyone here is poor,
let me pause this.
Everyone here does not give a shit about what the rich has to say.
Pause this real quick.
I am here.
Fucking hour and 40 minutes in, shit.
Hey, at least he's here.
Holy shit, it's that long?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, we waited for a good half hour. I said, with Al, I thought maybe he fell asleep or something. I wasn't sure.
Junior said you were showering, trying to make yourself like look and smell nice for me, Al.
That's true. You
thought I was lying, Susan?
Thinking to myself that Sue's going to be there, so I might as well smell nice.
There's never a guarantee that I'm going to be there. I could be in the house, but I stay in the attic so that I don't have to come down here, and I know you're not going to climb those stairs.
I'll do something funny for Al. So
he might crawl.
Because of course this happened in Florida. Because why wouldn't it happen in Florida? So Al, you get outside, you get ready fucking for work. You walk to your car, and underneath your car is a 10-foot alligator. So at that point, what do you do?
Oh no! What do you mean? An alligator just called me out of work.
Be like, you know what? I got a gator by my left rear wheel.
But if you're from Florida, like you know what the hell to do with a gator.
Yeah.
This gator has just determined that I will not be able to make it in.
It's like a 10-foot-long monster gator was hauled away by trappers after he was found under a car at a Florida apartment complex.
So that in New York, it'd be like, so you're just going to be an hour late?
It took 3 people. Again, why would only 3 people to haul the giant critter into the bed of a pickup truck and close the back panel, prompting cheers from onlookers? Get the fuck out of here. They put like duct tape around. That's a 10-foot gator, man. Like, why are you putting duct tape around his mouth? Like, you sick bastards. Like,
let's see the Florida Man challenge. I'm gonna go look at this shit.
Please do.
I made me think about freaking Al, just like the gator going to the truck. So, no, Al, we were talking about fucking coronavirus. So we said like New Zealand, no bullshit. They just had a concert with 50,000 fucking people. Australia just did a fucking football match with 78,000 people.
Yeah, but those places have been clean of COVID.
Funny, how's New York doing on COVID right now? It's like, oh boy. So
here we go. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god, this Florida Man challenge is out of control. So April 27th. It says a Florida man was arrested after witnesses told police they saw him kick 2 swans while practicing karaoke. Karaoke? What the fuck?
You know, I'll say this, man. I'm not mad at anybody that will tackle a swan because swans are aggressive.
Yes, they are.
Have you ever,
But you roundhouse a fucking swan? Like,
sometimes
what are you, Chuck
you gotta
Norris?
do what you gotta do. Like, he thought it was him or the swan. Like,
Yep.
Oh my god, this Florida man, Jesus Christ. I don't care.
Goddamn Florida man.
It says a Florida man was given house arrest after being convicted of continuously exposing himself as at restaurants that kept kicking him out. Fucking Florida man.
So
Jesus.
I'm glad Al's here, like, and Nicolai can talk about this with everybody. So we've all had, for the most part, some fun, some fucking fun sexual exploits. But have you ever heard of the drug called GHB?
what is it?
I have no idea. It's like some kind of fucking of a sex drug and shit. So apparently there was a man rushed to an emergency room because he was having excruciating pain in his intestinal wall. After being rushed to the hospital by his partner, the doctors noticed that the patient had tachycardia, high heart rate, and tachypnea, rapid breathing. One doctor said physical examination showed abdominal guarding over the entire stomach. Okay. At this point, they perform a CT scan, and which showed a perforation of the pelvic colon and giant amounts of air and fluids in his abdominal cavity. The doctors therefore had to perform an emergency laparotomy to repair the tear in his gastrointestinal wall. Apparently, he was doing drugs with his gay partner, and what they found inside of his stomach was he shoved hard-boiled eggs up his ass. And now, it wasn't the fact that he shoved hard-boiled eggs up his ass. It wasn't just 1 egg or 2 eggs, even a dozen eggs. He shoved 15 hard-boiled eggs up his ass and went to the emergency room, was telling the doctors, I don't feel good. You think? So I'm just like...
So GHB, GHB, they said it's a odorless drug that smells and tastes soapy.
Yeah.
And it's like basically, they said it's like a more powerful version of like Molly.
Okay.
And
You've done Molly, right?
Yeah. Oh, I've done plenty of Molly.
Okay, so at one point where you're doing Molly, like, you know what? I'm going to take a fucking dozen eggs and just bend over. It's just...
I mean, I purposely ticked off a cop and ran from him, but
I'm just at a point where, like, after the fucking baker's dozen, you know what, man? I'm gonna keep going.
No, I would never ever shove a fucking eggs up my ass when fucking Molly.
It was just like 15 eggs up, and he goes to the hospital saying, "I don't feel good." Well,
My
you know,
God, eating ass when you do Molly is something special. I'll tell you.
well, yeah.
I'm sure.
So next time you eat a girl's ass, and you're eating her ass, and an egg pops out of her ass, like, what do you do?
Scramble it. Especially if I did Molly. Shit, if I did Molly and the egg popped out of her ass, I'm eating breakfast.
So I'm just like, man, it's like maybe I need to start doing fucking different drugs now. If I'm gonna start fucking
I might need some of this GHB.
I'm just like, it's like 1, I bet 2.
Nah, but if it fucks up your stomach lining like that, I might
like he
shit.
damaged his intestinal fucking walls, needed surgery by shoving 15 eggs up his ass. Like, holy
Jesus Christ! But what did the drug actually do to him? Though, did the drug do anything to his stomach? Or
I just said it was the fucking damage came from shoving 15 eggs up his ass.
Jesus
Like,
Yeah, the
Christ.
drug did something to his stomach and caused him to put 15 eggs up his ass.
that's something in his brain. He's like, look, bae, I did this again. What the fuck?
Far be it for me to like knock anybody or whatever they're into, but that's some wild shit. Like that's over the top.
oh boy, man, that's just like I just yeah. I love whenever you fucking see these posts because God bless Twitter. Whenever somebody fucking posts facts, because sometimes facts do happen. Like, oh, you guys are baiting stuff or making things up. No, it's like I told Alice before. I wanted to catch up on the whole Johnson & Johnson. So a man's in a hospital with COVID-19 after receiving a COVID-19 vaccine. So okay, yeah,
but the vaccine doesn't make you immune to it.
Yeah.
Not 100%.
It just makes it easier for you to fight it
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
exposing you to other strains
So
of different viruses.
guess
It's like people do like you could have sex with a condom and still get a chick pregnant. It's not, it's
Yeah,
not that
that's
100%.
That's true.
And people always say shit like, "Oh, these guys are fucking like they're fear mongering stuff too." They're just posting the facts, like Al said. You know, fucking, it's like you can get the vaccine. Just like the flu. If you get the fucking flu vaccine, you can still get the flu. So it's like they're not fucking posting.
I've
like,
gotten the flu, getting the flu shot.
Yeah,
like I've literally gotten the flu. Like it at Home Depot 4 years ago. When I got the flu shot, I got the flu the same day. Yeah. Like I was throwing up and shit, but I was fine the next day. Like, it wasn't like it was something that was like, you know, fucking me up for like a week. Like most times if you did get the flu, but you know, that shit was scary as fuck. I ain't gonna lie.
That's the freaking point with the COVID. Like, it's like, this has been the fucking problem the past like few months. Everyone thinks this COVID, like, oh, if I get the vaccine, I'm immune, I'm free, nothing's gonna happen to me. Like, no. It's like any other fucking vaccine in human history. This is not a fucking end all be all cure all to shit. Sometimes things happen. So like I told Al about Johnson & Johnson, right now they've actually put a halt on COVID vaccines. Apparently they vaccinated like 600,000 fucking people. 6 people have gotten blood clots from the COVID vaccine.
It was 7 million people and 6 people got blood clots.
See,
and they just restarted their vaccines today.
See, the first article read said 700,000, but now it's 7 million. Cool. So that's a fucking problem nowadays. I was told this back in fucking high school and stuff. Like, I forgot which teacher told me this back in the day, but they would say things like, you know, if you have aspirin or any kind of medication, it's like, you can have fucking medication, right? And like, you could have this medication, like have 5 million people take this medication. If one person gets like anal bleeding or something, or itchy eyes, they gotta put down side effects may cause anal fucking bleeding or itchy eyes or like, you know, damaged liver, even though one person out of 10 million got the fucking thing. Here's a fuck problem with Johnson & Johnson, because 6 people had fucking blood clots, and no doubt those 6 people, you feel sorry for them. Like I was saying, 7 million fucking people, the numbers aren't in your favor for like, now we have to halt all the vaccines. Well, 6 versus 7 fucking million, guys. I mean, Jesus Christ, the numbers, damn.
It's like you say, it's legal purposes. They gotta at least warn you that if you take this vaccine, there could be adverse effects.
Yep. True.
Wow.
They're still waiting on New York to get 80% vaccinated before they completely reopen us. So
wow. So apparently this is a big thing. Colorado, now they're joining Washington and allowing human composting. Because Colorado's getting really down to earth.
Explain human composting.
The state is closing to legalize human composting, according to the Post. A bill which has already passed in one legislative chamber is allowing people to have their remains converted into soil through the natural reduction burying method. The process involves placing the body into a cradle, then another vessel, along with wood chips, alfalfa, and straw. Each body ultimately passes a few 100 pounds of soil. The practice is cited as more environmentally friendly than cremation or burial. Okay. So, they're going to start...
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I'm the same thing. Like,
you know, damn well I'm killing whatever tree on their soil that I'm at. They place my fucking parts there. It's like, hey, you might just want to cremate me, my guy. Ain't no part of this body healthy.
Let me see. If your fucking dad dies, what's it, like 2 tons of fucking compost you're getting?
Jesus Christ. You fucking 3 tons of fucking Scott's turf. Next thing you know, you have fucking 6 trucks of fucking soil coming out. Like, what's
You're
all that?
such a wonderful son.
I am the most horrible son. I am not a good son.
He's not a good son. I'm not a good friend to him. Come on, it works.
You're a real piece of shit.
He is.
It's in this podcast. Nothing gives me more fucking joy than seeing Junior fail. Like,
that is true. And he always sets me up. Like, he would be like this. He'd be like, yo, that girl's looking at us over there. And she's looking in disgust. So now I have to like literally look over and say, listen, I apologize on behalf of my friend. You probably hate me right now and want to sue me for sexual harassment. But I just want to let you know I apologize on his behalf.
Is that wrong?
Like, it's just like, damn, like, he really be trying to set me up. But then he gets mad when it works in my favor. Yeah. Like, he sets me up, but then he gets mad when it works in my favor. Like, how the fuck does that work?
This is karma's balance stuff out. Like I said, like, you weren't here, Nicolai, when we were driving back from New Hampshire, and Al was driving Junior in the car in front of us, and I was driving in the back, and who else was I with? We had Elliot. Yeah. I said, listen, you know, the 2 black guys, 2 white guys going to New Hampshire. If the 2 fucking black guys get pulled over, I'm going to say, listen, my friend Al here, he's 100% fucking fine. The guy in the passenger seat may have a gun on this fucking person, but I vouch for fuck Al 100%. Like,
that's true. He would really set me up like that.
As a dragging Junior out and stomping the shit out of him.
Yeah.
You know, funny story about coming back from New Hampshire. Like, Chris was driving in front of me. doing a couple of miles over the speed limit
Yeah, you
and
did get pulled over, too.
and swerving all over the road. And blows by a cop, and the cop looks in the car. It's like, nah, they're fine. me and Junior coming out the same road,
And we're going a
doing
lot
the speed
slower,
limit,
by the way.
doing the speed limit and get pulled over. I'm like, how is this fucking possible?
And the cop looked at me for an extended period of time. Like, it was just like, as soon as he said that attention was entirely focused on me, well, what the fuck do you do? Like, he didn't actually say that, but his eyes pierced me. I just looked down at my phone like, fuck this. Like, I ain't saying shit.
I move refrigerators.
I didn't say shit. I kept my fucking mouth shut. I was just like, you know what? I ain't saying a fucking thing. He's handling the entire conversation. Oh, you were slow down a little bit. I'm like, yes.
I'll whip out
yes,
that badge.
no Billy Club up my ass today. Like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, Christ. So, here's funny retail stories.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, we've all fucking been there because, like, especially I can see Al doing this shit. Like, Domino's customer he pulls out a gun because he couldn't get the toppings on the side.
Oh, listen, for sure, people got to die if you get my toppings fucked up.
Be like, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? I told you extra pepperoni, not fucking supreme.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at this pizza and I don't see the extra chicken that I ordered.
Yeah,
everybody in here about to die if you don't remake my pizza.
A Domino customer in Minnesota threatened workers with a gun over dispute about pizza toppings. Apparently, customer wanted to get the toppings on the side, and the pizzeria was unable to do so. How? Just don't put them on the pizza then. Like,
you know what? They should have shot him. Like, who the fuck orders a pizza with toppings on the side? What is the point of this?
The customer requested the pizza with toppings on the side and was told that the restaurant couldn't do that. Well, technically you can. I worked in Pizza Hut. You put the toppings on the pizza. You just put them on the side. But I agree with Al. The suspect was allegedly drove up to the restaurant's drive-thru, began arguing about the toppings. He then threw several pizza slices at the workers in the restaurant. Then he pulled out a gun and drove off. Oh, Jesus Christ.
He's lucky I didn't work at that place because he would have called in that order. I would have been like, nope. Can't help you, bro.
Yep. Just flat out say no.
On the side. You want it on the pizza or you don't want it at all? What's going on?
That's so stupid. Fuck.
Here's fun retail stories because we've all been to Applebee's. Applebee's customer attacks a cook with a bicycle. Then the cops found dynamite in his bag.
What the fuck?
Everything about that story sounds crazy.
It was like, what? Did he not get the barbecue shrimp that he wanted or something? What the fuck is going on?
He made his scene at the restaurant's chain.
What, do you work for Acme?
Random dude on a bike with dynamite like this.
Yeah, exactly.
What, is he trying to stop the Roadrunner? Wait, what the fuck?
Well, first he used the bicycle as a...
I didn't know Wile E. Coyote could ride a bicycle.
I know.
He got himself into a situation where he could get his hands on dynamites, but you can't get a car. What the fuck is going on?
So it says, first he made a scene that first he started yelling racial slurs because why wouldn't it to children?
Because why not?
What the fuck? Why are you calling kids racial slurs for at Applebee's? Like, Jesus Christ.
And have dynamite in your
And
bag.
then he fucking attacks me with his bicycle. I'm not sure how he used the bicycle as a weapon, but he did. Then it says, wow. Then he screamed at other customers, and let's see. Then the cops a cook came out of the kitchen and told him to leave the restaurant. He picked up the bicycle and swung it at him. Jesus Christ. The victim was struck in the abdomen. By the time the authorities arrived at the scene, he had reported left the restaurant. Then, according to news outlet, they found... the police found him nearby, carrying the bicycle as he ran. First off, why
is he carrying the bicycle?
Why are you riding the bicycle?
Clearly something's wrong with the guy.
This whole story is a sitcom. Like, he's like, instead of getting on the bike and pedaling, I'm running holding the bike. Jesus. It says, well, he appeared to be intoxicated, you think?
Maybe.
Then they found a quarter stick of dynamite inside of his bag. Jesus Christ.
He's going to jail.
I mean, he could have just been walking around with the dynamite. He might not have even meant to use it.
This guy's a menace because then they said apparently he was a suspect in a previous crime because he threw a rock through a grocery store, so they caught him again. Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, yeah, he's fucked.
Yeah, he's fucked.
Fucking A. I just never been out to Applebee's and stuff. I'm gonna start yelling racial slurs at children, then hitting people with bikes. Like, you got my fucking nachos wrong.
I would have beat the bricks off of that motherfucker. Like, you You threw a bike at me? Boy, you ain't... Yo, as soon as the cops get in, this the man right here. like, it would have just been knocked the fuck out. Like, you know what? I'm not even dealing with this shit. Because you ain't even going to hit me hard enough with the bike to stop me. Because I'm just going to fuck you up. Like, on some stupid shit. Like, you fucking yelling racial slurs at kids. Like, I'm just going to hit you off that. Like, I'm not even going to tell you to leave. I'm just going to beat your ass. Like, you start... Like, I don't understand. Like, that's not even the first time I heard that. Like, dudes really get brave with kids. Like, you really just start getting loud with kids.
What's the same type as the guys who fucking love beating the fuck out of their wives that weigh, like, you know, weigh 105, 106 pounds. You get in their fucking face, they cower down quick as fuck.
Yeah,
like, you know,
fucking keyboard warriors. Jesus Christ.
I looked this chick up now because now I'm upset about this, but this model, her name was Chantel Gaia Cologne. She had brain damage after eating a pretzel.
That's a hell of a pretzel.
She must have
get that pretzel from.
Right.
I might have to fuck with that pretzel.
She might have chewed that pretzel so hard a tooth got stuck in her brain.
Here's the problem. It's like, well,
that's the only explanation.
Here's the asshole me who hasn't got laid in a while. If she had brain damage, it didn't affect her body. So, you know, it's like, I'm just saying, she's still hot.
Okay,
about that is wrong.
first off, you had
Everything about
sex
that
at the
was
beginning of
wrong,
March. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
So you can't use that freaking, like, excuse.
Oh, she's stupid. At least she don't bite my dick off. It's okay.
Yeah, that's fucking wrong. I can't co-sign any of this.
I can't. Yo, listen. I couldn't even finish saying it. Like, I was like,
People listening like, geez, we wonder why Chris and Will are single for.
Yeah.
well, I'm single because I want to be. I don't give a fuck about a relationship. Like, I want to be single.
I mean, some people could say that I have fucked brain damaged women, so it's like,
Yeah, Chris's mom.
Christ. So,
got to make a good old trip to that halfway house.
oh god, it hits home too because I was with a girl anyway.
Yes, it's about that time, you know.
The family of a model who was left brain damage after having a serious allergic reaction to a peanut butter infused pretzel was awarded $30 million by a Las Vegas jury. Wow, her family got that.
Okay, well, when you explain it...
Well, I'm going by the headline. It says, "At least my daughter will be taken care of. I'm happy about that," said her father.
So she didn't know there was peanut butter in a pretzel?
Apparently so. So she had a pretzel at the South Convention Center when her friend brought her frozen yogurt and put a bite-sized pretzel on top. So damn.
She should fuck her friend. Well,
of course,
fucking her friend up.
She's an aspiring actress, went into anaphylactic shock, I've been there, after taking a bite. Damn. She lost oxygen to her brain for a period of minutes and seeking treatment at the Medic West ambulance and was running the medic station that day. Yeah, the medics had epinephrine in her bag, which use IVs required every minute, and Jesus. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's at that point, like, who are you suing? How are you gonna fucking sue the company? Because apparently she had a peanut butter reaction, so there was a peanut butter pretzel. She bit into it because her friend gave her the fucking pretzel. How is that the company's fault?
She should sue her friend. Her friend basically tried to kill her.
That pretzel wasn't labeled properly.
Listen, I need to go back to saying something really fucked up because this is going to be really fucked up. I needed to say this though, because we're talking about remedial sex. Like, we're talking about sex with, you know, people that got learning disabilities, right? So
I don't want to be a part of this.
So, nah, hear me out though. Hear me out. Can you imagine how sloppy the top would be?
Junior, I'm sorry, but it looks like you ate a Smurf.
Who says he didn't?
So now I feel more because now all that drooled.
You know, you see that because then Chris Elliot's out because now apparently after the reaction now she's a fucking quadriplegic. So now I feel really fucking bad about this. Oh Jesus Christ! So it says her dad says like, the truth came out.
Shit.
Yeah, she was actually in a couple. She was in a couple.
Going to hell.
Oh, it says like now she's 30.
Was there any doubt that he was going to hell? Though?
I mean, they're setting up a room for him.
It's like Lucifer's like, you got your own special room.
Me and Lucifer about to be best friends
with your name on it.
He's your bestie.
Yeah, me and Lucifer got stars on our doors.
Now she's 35. She's quadriplegic. She has to be fed through a tube and can only communicate with her eyes. Damn. So she has to have 24-hour care. The money from the lawsuit will be invested in her future care in a new home that's more conducive to her needs. That's fucked up, though.
Blink 3 times if I'm too deep.
Okay, at this point,
Change the subject. He is not mature enough for this.
Holy shit!
Oh my god. Oh shit.
Yeah.
No, change the subject, please. We're on to a different path now.
I couldn't even. Yo, I had to say it. I had to say it.
I was thinking it, but
I had to
Have
say
to.
it. I had to. That shit was funny.
and if we ever get 1 million listeners, this episode's getting banned just for that alone. If you think some shit Joe Rogan said, like,
Man, we're getting jumped in the streets over this comment.
Y'all are.
They'd be like, you're staying away from this home.
Well, it didn't help the fact that Alice said we missed last podcast where I'm like this guy. I told Jimmy and Brian this. Thank God Elliot was here because Elliot's the asshole. Where this guy beat his fucking 2-year-old stepson to death, and Elliot starts laughing. I'm like, dude, like, it was a 2-year-old pissed on
fuck.
a 2-year-old pissed on the fucking bed, and the father beat him to death. Elliot's think it's funny. I'm like, you fucking sick bastard. Like,
Yo.
see, L.A. mom suspected of she killed her 3 kids because she was unwell. Well, you think? Like, fuck, like. Jesus Christ. Well, she had mental problems. Well, oh, Jesus Christ, man. She was very sick, and she was not herself. Well, yeah, their dad, that sucks. Their dad is devastated. So she killed her 3 kids, and damn, man, they were 3, 2, and 6 months. And after she started acting mentally unstable. Well, goddamn, man. That whole fucking postpartum shit, man. Like,
Yeah, I was just about to say
another
that.
fucking mother just
When we
like,
go through that shit seriously.
yeah, that's a fucking
Off the
tragedy.
deep end.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is an old article, but yeah, U.S. will temporarily halt use of Johnson & Johnson's vaccine, but outlets are started back, so, okay.
They just restarted it today.
Yeah, man, this pissed a lot of people off, because I'm sure, Al, you probably read more about the whole fucking, do you know how you say his name? Dante, is it Dante Wright? Right?
Yeah, Dante Wright.
Yeah, because the Minnesota Police Association official, he blames Dante Wright for his own death. Oh, boy, you're pissed. Jesus Christ.
I didn't read any of it. I didn't watch any of the news. I didn't, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, boy.
I've had about enough of it, and I can't look at any more of it without feeling like I gotta put hands on somebody.
I mean, we all just said too it was a tragedy, but the fact that the head of a Minnesota police group slammed local officials over the handling of it, and he blamed the 20-year-old for the fatal encounter. No, that was not that kid's fucking fault, but like the fact you went on record saying that shit, dude, like, God, this is going to be an unpopular statement. You think? Fuck. Dante, if he would have just complied, he was told he was under arrest. They were arresting him on a warrant for weapons. He set off a chain of events that unfortunately led to his death. I'm not excusing it, but what we're seeing is policing these days and non-compliance by the public. But goddamn, dude, he didn't deserve to be fucking killed like that. Like, that's...
Now they're trying to say that non-compliance is a reason to kill somebody?
Yeah. And of course, and the woman who shot into the police officer, she was a 26-year fucking veteran. 26 years. And of course, she grabbed her taser instead of her firearm. Now, I mean, again, I'm not a fucking cop by any means. I don't regularly have a taser and a firearm. You'd think after 26 fucking years on the force, you know the difference between a taser and a fucking gun.
The weight difference alone and the kickback alone from it should already tell you the difference.
They don't even feel the same. The taser and a gun.
They don't.
In your hands.
But the fact that
the grip is so much different. Like you have like a plastic grip. Like the taser has I know because I've seen it.
If she was on the police force for 26 years, she should have knew which hand reaches for her service arm.
Thank you.
Which hand reached for her
It's
taser.
it's like not that it would defend it, but
sides.
it's like you could almost excuse a rookie that was fucking new, but you're a 26-year veteran. I mean, it's like me and Al work at the same company. After 26 years, I know what drive is and neutral in the bus and in reverse and shit. Like it's not
like I'm not just gonna accidentally switch from drive to reverse.
I ran him over because I know how to fucking park the bus. Like fuck it.
Plow into oncoming traffic like I thought I was in reverse. It's crazy to me.
Okay.
Right.
Actually, Al, 2 podcasts ago, we mentioned this New York State. New York State passed this fucking bill Cuomo did about like they're trying to afford more high-speed internet to low-income families, but this was in California, and fuck it, we've got some time to kill everybody here because this affects everybody. So California school district, they're voting on whether high-speed broadband is a human right. So, a California school board is expected to vote Thursday on a resolution that declares high-speed broadband is a human right. They're saying that high-speed is a human right because more pronounced since the COVID-19 pandemic hit our communities and interrupted the education of all our students. The board says that this has been especially true of low-income students and families who have less access to high-speed broadband necessary to distance learning. So, I just said, I mean, it's just everybody's. It's definitely opinionated, but like in 2021, internet for some people is a necessity, but necessity versus human right.
I wouldn't go so far as to say the high-speed internet is a human right. I would say internet is a human right, but not the high speed.
But even internet, I mean, is internet like? I mean, I feel like water, food, air, medicine is a human. Internet, it's like there are still people out there who don't have internet and their lives are just fine. I mean,
well, I think what they did was that they, I think they wanted to say something else as opposed to saying basic human right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and they just
worded it wrong.
They worded it 100% wrong. What it is just the fact that, and because their explanation, I agree with, but their explanation, I agree with it. It's so much dumb shit has happened because of social media.
Yeah,
people don't randomly go out here and shoot each other. They don't randomly go out here and just do that shit. They don't just get up and put a gun in their fucking pocket and say, you know what, I'm gonna go wave this shit at somebody. Social media is doing that. Social media is 100% because they interact with each other on social media. They have all this beef on social media. So every time they go out, and they live really close to each other. You know what I mean? Like these are people that live right down the street from each other. So when you go on social media and you have all this beef, and now next thing you know, you're walking the streets with that gun because of the fact that you never know when you see him. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm gonna kill you when I see you. Yeah. What do you think is gonna happen? Like, what do you think is gonna happen the next time that person sees that other person? Now he's gonna kill him, so he protects himself.
Well, so right now with the whole California thing, what they're trying to excuse this is almost like New York, how Cuomo passed this law. They're trying to say that like different kids and stuff, different older people, different people on a fixed income, they have to have internet to live their lives. And I'm like, well, it's like right now, McDonald's, for example, I could call Uber Eats at McDonald's, bring food to my house, or I could get off my ass and walk around the fucking corner and go to McDonald's. Yeah. So for a lot of people, it's this will be a constant fucking debate. Some people are like, well, I can't go to the fucking doctors. I want to do a doctor's through Zoom. I'm like, well, technically you could go to doctors. You could call a cab. You could call an Uber. You could do things. It's not it's a convenience, not a necessity. What they're trying to fucking fight for, they're trying to say that internet is a human fucking right. I'm like, no, I still feel like a smartphone isn't a fucking necessity. It's damn near convenient. Like I wouldn't know what I would do without my smartphone. I wouldn't know what I would do without my Wi-Fi, but like, is it a necessity? Not really, because there's people out there who don't have Facebook, who don't have fucking Twitter, people out there who don't have fucking smartphones. It makes life easier, no doubt, but it's not a human right, though.
Like I said, they worded it wrong.
I don't know how to feel about it because I could argue pros and cons of it like by myself. So I don't even know what side to fall on. I kind of, if you lump it into our right to be educated, then I could understand how they make the leap, like in the time of COVID, where everybody is forced to be confined, and they're saying in order to educate children, we need Wi-Fi. I could see them connecting it that way.
That's what they're saying.
But beyond that, I don't see how it's like a super necessity.
Yeah.
Because if Wi-Fi went out, if we turned off the internet today, you would annoy a lot of people, but life would go on. Like it wouldn't fucking kill us.
Thank you. Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Because that's a bit like the theaters, no doubt. I mean, I was happy to see Mortal Kombat in theaters, okay? But you watch Mortal Kombat from your house. It's okay. The theaters being shut down I miss going to the theaters, but like it didn't did it end the fucking American economy? It's like it was annoying. Like I miss going to theaters, but like it didn't stop nothing. Like you're saying, Al. It's like if Wi-Fi in this house fucking got shut off for like a week, okay, I still can go to Price Chopper. I can still go to fucking place. I can still life wouldn't shut down if my Wi-Fi shut down. But what they're trying to say is that some people like their Wi-Fi is mandatory, and I'm like, I don't know. It's like how is it mandatory? Because you can still go out, you can still grocery shop for yourself. Now, some people that are older on a fixed income, they can't physically leave their fucking houses and go to Walmart. They have to have Walmart bring it to them. But I'm like, but then again, can't you just call Walmart? But then they're like, I guess you have to go to Walmart.com. This is a very fucking controversial topic, but like I said, human right, that's different than human convenience. Yeah. It's just like a car. Well, that's I can live without my car. It'd be a pain in the ass, no doubt. Trust me. But fucking like, that's like saying almost like having a car is a human fucking right. No, it's not. Like it makes things easier, but it's not a right though.
Gabriel Iglesias brought that up years ago on maybe not years, but a few years back on one of his specials. His son lost his phone in school. Someone stole it. He came home. He's like, well, what are we going to do about this? And he's like, well, it was your responsibility to, like, not get your phone stolen from you. He's like, now you have to suffer the consequences. He's like, you need to buy me a new phone. And he's like, why? Why do I need to buy you a new phone? He's like, because I want one. He's like, that's not a reason. Yeah. And he's like, what if you need to get a hold of me? He's like, I know what school you go to. He's like, what if you need to get a hold of me on my way home? He's like, I know the route you take. He's like, well, you're pretty famous. What if someone tries to kidnap me? And he's like, you weigh 225. Oh, boy, for someone to kidnap you, they need a box of Oreos and an iPhone.
I'm dead.
But he was explaining to him, he's like, a cell phone for a teenager is not a necessity. It's a privilege. Yeah. It is not a necessity.
But I'm getting worried about going forward, though, that this is becoming this thing where it's like right now, maybe, but 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the internet may become fucking for everybody mandatory.
It definitely is. Because I remember a few years ago when I actually started looking for my first job, every place I went to, you had to do the application online. There were no paper applications.
Yeah, a lot of places have gotten rid of paper applications.
I was just about to say that what's happening is from the time that the internet was invented to now, they have definitely integrated into everything. Yeah. In all aspects of life now, the internet is integrated. So like I said, if you take it away, you'll piss people off, but life will go on. But it does, like you said, create a massive amount of convenience. Yeah. So having the internet it makes life a lot easier, but like I don't know that I think it's a right, like a human right.
But that's the problem with 2021 thing is 2021, yes, it's inconvenience, but then come 2030, it may actually be fucking mandatory to have internet.
The technology is only going to keep advancing, so I definitely, you're right about that.
But when it gets to that point, then make a bill and say, it's a human convenience. But as of right now, like, it's not really, it's a privilege to have.
I mean, maybe that's why they're doing it now because they're trying to look at 5-10 years down the fucking road, because if they don't do it now, then what happens in 10 years when it is a fucking mandatory, you know?
You know what, when it's all said and done, honestly, if they create some law, some rule that makes it a right, I don't see any downsides of it. Like, I don't see anybody being hurt by them making it a right, other than just the fact that people want to argue about it and fight about it. Yeah.
Well, it's like that thing. It's like, the thing, it wouldn't be a fucking right if you guys didn't make it. That's the problem. It's like, well, it shouldn't be considered a human right. But the thing is, you made it where it's like going fucking for a job, going for a doctor, going for buying for food. You made it where it's like, I have to fucking have a smartphone or a fucking Amazon account or something just to buy fucking medicine for my kids. So it's like, so if you guys are making it, if you're making it mandatory, then it should be a fucking right, because you're making it where it's like, I can't catch my check or fucking buy a bottle of water, or just anything. Everything I fucking do requires the internet. So it's like, if you guys are forcing the internet down our fucking throats, then you better make it a human right. Because
now, if you think about it, smartphones are way more of a necessity compared to a flip phone. Yeah. Because a lot of people, they'll take their phone. That's how they deposit their check into their bank account. That's how they keep track of, like, their money. Me, I need my phone for fucking work. Like, that's how I clock in. That's how I get my emails. That's how I communicate. Like, there's no store phone. I was explaining this to you the last time. There's no store phone. Yeah. The only way I can get in contact with the district manager is if I have my phone, and like that's how I clock in.
And that becomes fucking scary, because if a situation happens, something to happen where, say, your phone, whatever, fucking say like the tower went out or something, you lost your fucking data. You have actually no phone. If an emergency happens, you're screwed.
Yeah.
This is a fact that I'm working through right now, because I have no phone. My phone is disconnected.
Yeah.
And it is a nuisance. The only reason I'm not in a full board press to get a new phone and get reconnected is because for the past few weeks, it's been over a month now, that I have not had that extra bill. Yeah. It just makes it all worth it. Like, like every time I think about it, I'm like, I should get a phone today. I'm like, $100 a month.
This has been a while back, but I still will. I mean, it's like, people can do what they want, live your fucking life. I still think it's fucking hilarious, and it's going to keep happening more and more as technology advances. But like,
think about it in like 50, 60 years from now, the internet is going to be more than a necessity. Like, it's going to be so integrated into our lives. Like, everything you do Exactly. It's going to be along those lines.
I'll be dead.
Getting into your car to go somewhere is going to be connected to the internet. Getting into your house, going to work, ordering food, you go into your doctor. Everything you do is going to be connected to the internet.
They're already doing stuff like that with the little rice nano chip that you could put in your little the webbing of your.
I was going to get that article soon. That's another article I got written down. So yeah,
I was thinking about getting that chip.
I just want to pop this on because talking to everybody here, like as a bunch of guys and Susan, like but there was
I love how he said that. A bunch of guys and Susan.
You'd probably do this too, but so there's a Kazakhstan bodybuilder, but he got married to a sex doll.
I'll marry a sex doll.
That ain't the first time I heard that.
I'm just like,
fuck it.
Because right now, because the sex dolls, they're what they are. As technology advances, it's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to fucking get more and more common.
She can't divorce me, take half my shit.
Chris, I'm not going to that wedding.
Wait until she becomes advanced enough. 100 years from now, she'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
But I'll be dead, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah, but those guys are going to have to deal with it.
Oh, God.
Leave all my
like
fortune.
The mother from freaking Umbrella Academy.
I also love that. Proving that love is blind and sometimes kooky, a bodybuilder from Kazakhstan has tied the knot with his dearly beloved, a sex doll he dated for 8 months before proposing a year ago.
Dated?
Oh,
that means she took it out with him. That's just unsanitary.
God. The couple shared...
So wait, so like when they got married, like, did he like speak for her? Did he like put a voice box in her?
Well, it says that the couple shared a romantic first dance in front of dozens of guests.
Because I'm thinking $40 drive-through wedding, 1999, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. She's passed out, and he's like, "Oh yes, I do."
Well, he did describe himself as a sex maniac, and then he popped the question to her in front of an audience.
I'm annoyed at how accepted we have become as a society. Like this type of shit is like fringe shit that should be kept secret.
He said
we should not know about this. You should have a sex doll and keep it in your closet or under your bed, and nobody knows.
That's what Chris's is.
Well, this could be my fucking problem. Why my last relationship failed for. He said on a post that couples need to talk less and connect more. So I should have talked to her less and fucked her more. So with time and experience, I realized that it takes more than words to have a conversation.
So what the fuck does it take?
Your partner sure deserves the best, but they have to do their part. Oh, God. He met her at a nightclub where he rescued her from some unwanted attention, adding that they had planned to take the plunge in March before the pandemic hit.
We're still talking about a doll here?
How did you be in a sex doll at a nightclub?
What is happening here? Because I'm confused.
Like, is it an actual doll or because where'd you say he's from?
Kazakhstan.
Yeah, so maybe it's not an actual sex doll. Maybe it's a girl who is considered a sex doll.
She identifies as a doll.
And of course, he identifies, he's pansexual, so he says that our story turns me on much more than the sex itself. I love being tortured. I can endure a lot of pain. I love to dominate. What the fuck am I reading? That's
what I'm saying. Maybe she's just a girl who is considered a sex doll.
I'm seeing pictures. This is an actual doll. So he's had a very good relationship with his
So what the fuck is he?
doll.
What the What?
Anyway. Jesus Christ.
No, seriously, what?
Part of our species is doomed, Big L.
We are doomed.
Christ. Oh, boy. We're fucking marrying dolls now.
What?
Yep. So,
her name's Trisha.
So now, apparently, polar bears, they're mating with grizzly bears become...
Wait, now we're moving on to another subject. I want to stay on this real quick.
I don't have all the details.
What?
Yeah. Boy. Anyway.
How are the polar bears mating with the grizzly bears?
Exactly.
Are we that fucked up
now
on this planet that bears are migrating?
Human beings are so fucked up that we're infecting the animal kingdom, okay? Yeah. Now they're called Pizzly bears. Pizzly, Pizzly bear. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Just say bear. Just say bear.
Well, because the point is that polar bears don't mate with grizzly bears. That's outside the animal fucking kingdom.
This is regions.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like if they're doing that on their own, like it's not being genetically
this is how bad we're fucking up this planet for. We're having species
because they've genetically engineered an entire.
They come into the forest for some better dick.
Yeah.
They know them black grizzlies getting it.
No, But this is happening in nature as we speak, a grizzly bear and a polar bear, or is it genetically? Yo!
Them black bears doing better.
You fucking racist bastard.
Okay, are we done being 5?
That's right, the polar bear's going to white. Polar bears lives matter.
Once you go grizzly.
Once you go grizzly.
You said polar bears were signs, goddamn black bears.
Okay, back to my question. So this is happening in nature as we speak. A grizzly bear and a polar bear are like fucking.
Yeah, because it says climate change is pushing polar bears towards the brink. Nature has devised a new animal to help preserve the species, the grizzly bear.
So it's nature. It's natural. It's not genetically engineered.
No, it's happening because of climate change.
The polar bears are going south and the grizzly bears are going
exactly
north.
100%. What? Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna say scientists have genetically engineered. They've made like
Well, this is because of climate change. Yeah.
Tigers and lions. Like
This happened. The first time this happened, they said, was in 2006. This polar bear grizzly hybrid is more resilient to climate change and better suited for warmer temperatures because they're taking the best of both worlds and shit. So
okay, so it's basically like survival of the fittest at this point.
Genetic diversity at work.
Because of the fact well, no, because polar bears are like eventually going to go extinct.
Exactly.
Because they can't live in a warmer climate.
Yeah, well, that's what we need is a new fucking super bear. It's like, it's not looking good for polar bears.
Now they can kill you in 2 regions. Like, fuck that. Wipe out the Pizzlies.
It says, because it says...
If Al ever comes across a Pizzly, like, he's gonna, like...
No, because it says right here, it says it's not looking good for polar bears, says the scientist who blames the Arctic beast's decline on the melting sea where they hunt seals, the preferred prey. Unfortunately, their highly specialized diet of blubber means they could soon go extinct, like the saber-toothed tiger and other persnickety predators. But yeah, so
I have a question. Why hasn't this become a meme yet? This should be like
because people don't pay attention to that crap because you see what's on the news all the time.
Well, I just love a Christian because Christian's like, Dad, it's like, I don't see Big Al that often, but I do like Big Al. I've listened to podcasts. He goes, why would Big Al want to eat a seal for? I'm like, because Big Al is a carnivore.
Christian, when you hear this, it's because seals look delicious. Because I can almost guarantee all that blubbered meat is tasty on the grill. I promise, if I ever get my hands on a seal, I will hook you up with a tasty seal steak.
My son was dying. He's like, why would Big Al want to eat a dolphin? Because dolphins are delicious.
Because I know dolphins are delicious. You want to tell me they do all that swimming and them mussels don't taste good? Oh, fuckers are good.
Oh fuck.
Listen, the 2 animals on the top of my list, top tier that I know.
He's gonna be in the fucking ocean with a harpoon.
Before I die, I'm eating these 2 animals. A hippopotamus and a walrus. Before I leave this planet.
There are 4 if that's the case, because you've already said a seal and a dolphin.
Like, seal and dolphin, I want to eat them, but I'm not going to go out of my way. I am going out of my way for hippo and walrus. I am planning a trip. I am going across the world. I am finding out where they
Hey, Chris,
cook
remember that exotic burger
animals?
place?
Oh, yeah. That was up on Fuller Road. Yeah, I tried.
They closed that down.
You tried the bunny burger.
I've been there a couple of times. I had ostrich and alligator from there.
Yeah, he had stuff like he had gator, he had rattlesnake, he had bunny. I tried bunny. Bunny was just kind of like, it definitely gave me more stringy than beef and shit. But no, that's why he was doing pretty good business because he's like, I'm the only place in the capital region that has I'm near the airport. People go off the airport, they want to try exotic fucking foods. Like where around here can you get gator?
Yeah.
It's where around here can you get ostrich or something? So he made sure. I don't know why he shut down for it, but he had some.
Because I was in there a couple of times and I was like, yo, man, I wish he would have stayed open.
I know. I'm with Al though. I'm like, everything on this planet needs to be eaten.
Listen, I'm still trying to figure out why we draw a line on which animals we don't eat. Like, I've heard people say I'd eat a cow, but I would never eat a dog. Like, why wouldn't you eat a dog? Like, if I met somebody that seasoned
my
the dog
is he comforts my heart.
Listen, yeah, just because you chose to get attached to him is not my problem. I know people who chose to get attached to their cows.
He's adorable.
I'd still eat him. I'm telling you, if you season it up right, I'll try it. Like,
I eat Chinese food on a regular basis. I'm pretty sure I'm eating cats and dogs all the time.
Whoa! Let's not get out of line here.
There's not enough soy sauce for this conversation.
Sounds kind of racist there, Sue.
No, in New York City, it was proven. Someone took like actual video out behind like in Chinatown. A lot of the restaurants, they had slaughtered freaking dogs.
And Al was there.
Listen,
And like someone was like videotaping it saying like, I'm putting this on the internet. No one is going to these restaurants anymore because they will actually see what you're using as your meat now.
My thing is this: if they would have just advertised it on the menu, people would fuck with them. Like I would, if you put dog on the menu, I'd be like, "Yo, what dog? What? I'm on my way." I'm telling you.
Rice.
Let me get that golden retriever and the pork fried rice.
Jesus Christ.
It's like it's bad enough that you're saying dog, but then you have to name the breed.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I had a little bit of a golden retriever steak.
Let me get that Rottweiler tartar. So look at
Oh my god.
This is why we're out on this podcast for. To his credit, he may not be wrong. Like, how do we know that like LaRue doesn't taste different than a German Shepherd? We don't know.
Like I'm telling you, I just
And
wish
I
knew
never
people that
will.
would actually do it. I would. Like dog is something that I would try. I'm not willing to like go travel the world to find dog, but if I went somewhere and somebody was making it, I'd try it.
If something ever happens to our freaking dog,
I mean,
I'm kicking Al's ass.
Oh no, I'm not the guy that's gonna butcher an animal.
but some ways you could think that maybe honoring his legacies by like devouring his flesh and enjoying
He is a
him.
member of our family.
Like I mean, think
I'm
about
not eating you after you die.
Well, I'm not that dog. Like, trust me, there's a lot more toxic inside me than that dog.
I was at work having a conversation with a couple of people. I was talking to Phil about it. When you get a chance, text him and ask him about the
God, I'm
conversation.
scared.
He asked me. We were talking about like eating humans. Like if you would eat a human that was like killed, and chopped up and seasoned just to be eaten. And I was like, listen, all it would take for me to do it is to find somewhere where it's allowed. Like I'm not like it's because it's illegal
Jesus
here.
Christ, man.
I would not like. I'm not going to partake in any illegal shit. Like
Hannibal Lecter.
I'm not going to eat a person in America. But if I went somewhere where that shit was allowed, I would definitely try human flesh.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not something I would make a common practice.
As long as it's not in U.S. soil, it doesn't count. Like, so what? It's someone's baby. Fuck it. Like,
Jesus Christ.
well, I mean, to defend Al from an evolutionary standpoint, like all meat is protein, though. He's not
It
wrong
is,
about that.
but
you know?
still, like
Humans-
there are certain things like you don't want to eat.
Humans have a rich history of eating humans throughout all cultures and at different times
No,
on this
it's
planet.
true, but still.
Well, like Nicolai hasn't been here for the podcast much, but I would break down, and he's not fucking wrong from an evolutionary standpoint, ageism and stuff. It's like, okay, technically,
Nick, I hope we haven't corrupted you.
Oh, he
like,
will be.
to not want to come back.
But I would break down, and he's not fucking wrong. It's like, we as a society think it's like, okay, morally disgusting for, say, a 35-year-old man to fuck a 15-year-old girl. There's a 20-year age gap, But then what's wrong with a 35-year-old woman fucking a 55-year-old man? Or like, say, for instance, a 21-year-old girl fucks a guy who's 80. It's but like I would say from every
Still disgusting.
But I'm saying, but from a fucking genetic and biological and evolutionary standpoint, a 75-year-old man can still get a fucking 18-year-old girl pregnant.
Yeah,
that's possible. It's like, but like we see it as fucking morally wrong, but science and our biology and fucking nature doesn't see anything wrong with that shit.
Like, the only reason we are against it is because we've been conditioned to be against it. In nature,
He's right.
It's not a thing that exists. Like a mature male and a young just starting to be fertile female, there's nothing in his head that's going to be like, she's too young, let me not do it, right? But for us, it's different because we've created like guidelines in our society.
Even going fucking further, like I said, from an evolutionary standpoint, there's nothing wrong with like why can't a fucking like evolutionary a black guy can get a fucking white chick pregnant, or like an Asian girl can get pregnant by a white guy. But systemically in different societies, come on, like we throughout human history, if you're a black guy and got a white girl pregnant, you'd be fucking beheaded for that shit, If you were a fucking white guy who like fucking got a Hispanic girl pregnant, you'd be fucking killed. But fucking from a standpoint of a species, there's nothing wrong with that shit. So how is age,
Like I
sex,
said,
gender,
societal conditioning?
Yeah,
that's all it is.
I mean, because even like as gross as it is, we'll get into that. But like obviously, fucking if a father fucking pregnant his daughter, for fucking like genetically speaking, there's different genetic defects that would happen. That's why it's outside fucking nature and stuff.
Well, that's like the through the line of like what was it, Queen Victoria or something, the like blood disease hemophilia well, not hemophilia.
Well, half them fucking diseases happen.
Hematoma or something like that came into effect through inbreeding.
Yeah.
And stuff.
That's
and
what I'm saying. Like the whole fucking inbreeding fucking from a species standpoint makes no fucking sense.
Well,
but,
that's
it doesn't make sense from the standpoint of nature. It makes zero sense.
Exactly.
The reason that they did it is because they were quote unquote trying to keep the bloodline pure, which was a complete.
I'm happy you say that.
The concept of monarchy is a complete human construct, right?
Yeah.
And they were going against nature on every level by interbreeding within their own bloodline just to be like, we don't want the peasants to come in.
Well, because of the fact that, like, that's something in, like, the Game of Thrones world.
Yeah, talked about that.
And, like, also, like, in the books and stuff is because, and, you know, like, the one guy I listened to on YouTube, he did a whole series based off of why the Targaryens practice inbreeding in the first place, to try and keep like certain things pure so that they could continue like riding dragons and doing like all this other shit, because they thought that their blood was more pure than if they went and intermingled with the other families in Westeros.
The only thing they did was breed themselves into a position of being unable to breed anymore.
And
that happens in fucking nature. How many fucking species like what was it? You can't have a fucking a donkey, right? A donkey can't have fucking offspring. It's like because
no, it's a
mule.
Oh, it's a mule. Okay,
there's a horse and a donkey makes a mule, but a mule can't. And you know what's weird about that? It depends on which one is the female. Which one is the? It depends on the gender of the parent. If the father is a horse and the mother is a donkey, it's called one thing. But if the father is a donkey and the mother is a horse, it's called something else. And the one that makes the mule, the mule can't reproduce, but the other one can. It's weird. It's like you got to read up on it.
That's what the other one is.
Yeah. I'll look him up sometime.
It's weird. It's a weird fucking setup.
Well, I figured this article would make Al happy, and of course Junior's father would be happy about this. But it says Australian man finds venomous snake in his lettuce at Aldi grocery store. So it tells you, like, you know, it's right here. Article says, let us never eat salads again. So, like, Al would never have this fucking problem because Al would never be at Aldi's buying lettuce.
I'm not a goddamn rabbit. Fuck would I be buying rabbit food?
So Junior's dad would never get bitten by a snake buying lettuce, because why would he be buying lettuce for? So a man in Sydney, Australia had a disaster over his healthy produce purchase when a venomous snake slithered right out of his lettuce. At first he thought the critter was just a worm, but then he realized he was dealing with something far worse. I freaked out when I saw this little tongue come out of its mouth and start flicking around and realized it was a snake, because worms don't have tongues. Then, of course, he panicked, especially once he realized how dangerous the encounter could have been. The snake ended up being a venomous, pale-headed snake. Although not deadly, the species in venom can produce some unpleasant symptoms: severe headache, blurred vision, localized pain, and also abnormal bleeding. So, yeah, poor guy went to go fucking buy some lettuce and a snake popped out. The snake traveled 500 miles from a packaging plant in the Australian city of Toowoomba to the Aldi supermarket where White was shopping, where temperatures were probably cold enough to keep the snake in position between two heads of lettuce wrapped in plastic. Wow. When he got home, he and his partner saw the reptile as well as a hole in the packaging that would allow the snake to escape into their home. Holy shit. So, wow, the fucking snake was in her house. That's fucking freaky.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, so the thing is, don't buy lettuce, guys. There could be venomous snakes in your fucking lettuce. Jesus,
I'm not worried about that.
Oh, man. Let's see. Exactly.
So I got a question.
Sure.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
How many people, right? How many dudes does a woman have sex with before they're considered ran through?
Wow. Fuck.
I don't know.
Opinions.
I don't think there's any one number. I think depends on the dude she's talking to.
I mean, we're all different here.
The amount and the time of the person. You know what I mean? The amount of time and the amount of time in between each person.
Okay, that's a good fucking answer.
Yeah.
I feel like if a woman sleeps with a whole bunch of guys, I don't even consider her ran through unless she did 20 guys in a single night. Then I'm like, yeah, you're definitely.
Yeah.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
what I mean by the amount of people and the amount of time between each person. Yeah,
I'm gonna go with, honestly, from my standpoint, with Alan.
But if there's a number you can throw out there. Like if there was a number, like listen, if you asked her, like one of the most commonly asked questions is how many dudes, you would ask a female how many dudes you slept with before me. You know what I mean? Like if she was brutally honest, if she was brutally honest, straight to the point, what number is unacceptable?
Fuck.
Anything over 15, that's more than I got. So
it's more than you.
Anything more than me is a dub. Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna say for me personally, triple digits. You start hitting fucking triple digits. If I hear it's like, if you hit triple digits first, man, like that's.
So basically, porn stars are out of the questions.
For me, it goes so much deeper, like because I begin to think about like the effects of too much sex. Like if she has a habit of sexual partners, of like meeting guys and having sex. Yeah. Like, can you connect emotionally? Like, what does it take for you to just move on to the next? Like,
I'm glad that you're going deeper with that because it's true. You're 100% right with that because again, can you even have an emotional connection with somebody if you're oversaturated with sex? Like, that is a very good point.
Yeah. And if I know her, if I know that she has a habit of sleeping with a bunch of guys, how do you?
Yourself? Why even put yourself in that position? If you know this woman has a problem with being out there, why would you then put yourself in a position where you could possibly get hurt or...
Here's the thing, right? Yeah, sometimes you tell yourself, like, in a situation like this where we could think about it logically, you could say to yourself, I would never get involved. But when you meet her, and then you're emotionally attached to her, and then you find out...
I've been there.
She's, been with all these people... It's not so easy to just walk away, cut ties, and walk off. Like you,
I'm the dick that's changing it. That's how. No, seriously, that's how men look at it. Well, I'm the dick that's changing it.
I'll say this for me. I would go into like kind of like a light panic mode because I'm like, where do I go with this? Like, I wouldn't know what to do with the information if I found out. Like, I'm dating her. I found out she's been with 200 guys.
Actually,
I don't know where to go from there because it's like I don't now. I think anything that goes wrong, you might just run off to the next guy because this is a habit.
I can tell Nicolai this because I wasn't much because like when my girlfriend passed away, I started talking to Alan Moore Jr. was there with my ex-girlfriend Mary who passed away and she was a stripper. And during the course of fucking talking with her, being with her and stuff, I started finding out over time her numbers were a lot higher than fucking mine. Now she wasn't hitting like 100 or 85, but Mary was 29 years old, and by 29 years old she's been through a lot more fucking dudes than I've been through fucking females. So
it's just easier for women to crank up the numbers than men.
That's true.
But I heard about her fucking numbers. Her numbers were fucking like that's the controversial thing. If she said, Chris, I fucked 1,000 guys, I'd be like, I gotta back the fuck up out of here. But when she said, Chris, I fucked 25 guys, I'm like, well, 25 for me is still a high fucking number. Like I was like, the thing is, during the situation, during when I'm being with her, I'm in love with her, and like we're building a future. And she goes, Chris, the past year I fucked only you, and I knew the fact that she's a stripper. She could fuck anybody she wants to. The fact that she's only going home with me, the fact that she could fuck anybody she wants to, does make you fucking feel kind of special. But if she would have said, Chris, I fucked 1,000 guys, I would have felt a lot different than if she said, Chris, I fucked 50 guys. Even 50 guys would seem kind of like high for me, but like I agree with Al. Like it's definitely more complex to put a certain number. None of us can put a fucking 86 or some shit or fucking 24. It's like, but if I heard definitely out of that question, oh Chris, I'm 25 years old and I fucked 300 guys. I'm out. I'm sorry, 25.
I mean, it has two crazy effects, right? Two long-term crazy effects. You find out she's been with a shitload of guys, and it does two things. The first thing is it makes you more likely to not take it serious, right? It's like I'm not like, how much time are you going to invest in this girl? And second of all, for any reason, if she pops up pregnant, there's no way you believe it's yours. Like, even if like she pops up pregnant, the first thing out in your mind is like, is it mine? Like has she been messing with anybody on the side? Because in your head, she's got a habit of getting around. So it's like I don't know.
Women fuck who they want. Men fuck who they can. That is the biggest. The saying that I've gone through for the longest time. Because you know what? At the end of the day, if there's an attractive woman that's there and she throw her pussy at a guy, they're taking it.
He ain't wrong.
There's no questions asked about it. You know what I'm saying? Some random dude just walking in the mall. Next thing you know, a girl approaches him and just say, "Hey, I want some dick." You think he gonna say no? He'll fuck around, take her to one of the nasty ass bathrooms in the mall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what's scary about that is not only will he take her to the bathroom, he's probably gonna hit raw.
Yep. Facts. Nah, facts. You're right.
That's fucking.
It's like it's crazy. Like, you know, that's why it's like how I look at it. The reason why I asked that question for was because there's this girl that I was talking to at one point, and she said that she had sex with 40 guys.
Okay.
And she's 36 years old. So she's older than me. And she said she fucked, you know, that's how much she fucked. And I said, you know, I was like, I really don't care. You know, you're with me right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and then she asked me how many girls that I had sex with. And when I told her my numbers, she felt some type of way. Yeah. And, you know,
that's how it always happens.
She felt some type of way about the number that I said because it was, you know, pretty much close to her number. It was a little bit more, but it was close to her number, you know, because most of the time that I've had sex was during the party days. Oh, I'm ill will. Let's fuck him because we know he's going to get us into the best parties. That was pretty much my life for like 5-6 years. You know what I mean? Like, females would just come up to me and just be like, oh, hey, this guy, this is Will. He's just the man around here. So it's just like, you know, let me throw pussy at him so I could stay around him. And me being a dick, that didn't matter. So, but it's just like, you know, but what it was in that situation though is that she got mad at me because she was like, well, you know, what happens if, you know, we don't work out? You're just gonna go fuck another bitch. Yeah. But it was like after my whole 6-year party stint, I haven't really been with a female since. You know what I mean? Like, I've had no emotional attachment. Honestly, I haven't really had that much sex since I've stopped partying. You know, pretty much all of the sex I've had is when I partied. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Outside of partying, I haven't hooked up with a single female outside of partying. So it's not, you know what I mean? So it's different. So with me, basically the whole point, what I'm saying is that to me, it's circumstances. You know what I mean?
And that's
because in a sense, I'm kind of ran through. You know what I mean? Like, with all the girls that I fucked in all my party years, like, I'm ran through.
See, that's
a
scary fucking part that everybody here and everybody listening would go through is like, you know, how much, like, when people say, like, you know, how much you want to fucking know if your partner's fucking past. Now, some people would say, like, you know, but your partner's past is a past is before you. But then again, the problem everybody here would have is like, you know, in human nature is that history has a fucking tendency of repeating itself. Yep. And that's the fucking problem.
That's why I always say, my father said this to me when I was really young. No one ever asks questions unless you're absolutely sure you want the answer. Yeah. And I live by that motto because sometimes you just don't need to know certain things. Like, I will never ask a girl that I'm dating or I'm into what her body count is. You got. Yeah. Exactly. I would never ask that question. I don't want to know. I don't care. Are you fucking with me now? Let's do our thing. Yeah. Whether it works or don't work, that's on us.
That's a question I've asked for myself is like, you know, don't tell me if I'm the fucking best. I don't want if I'm the fucking best. I would tell girls you're the best I've ever fucking had. For me, I don't fucking want if I'm the best that like fucked you or went down on you or like if I'm the longest, I'm the best. I don't want to fucking know because if I hear about some other guys better than fucking me and like it's.
But you still want that open communication if sex isn't the best because you want to have the best sex you can with the person.
No. See, this is the thing. There's a difference between knowing if you're the best she's ever had and knowing if you're satisfying her. I'm only concerned with if I'm satisfying her. I don't want to know if I'm the best you've ever had, or I don't want to know if you're comparing me to the last guy that used to blow your back out. I don't want to know none of that. I just want to know that I'm getting you there. Like
that's honestly no. It's like I won't fucking mention is my last relationship. I would say, listen, am I satisfy you? Yes, you do. That's all I need to fucking know because I'm like I don't need to fucking know about the last fucking 3 guys, how much better or worse they were than me. And just like, do I make you happy or do I sexually satisfy you? You do 100% of the time. That all I fucking want to, because I even like, you know, I'm not fucking, I don't want to know about the last 2-3 guys, dick fucking size, how long it lasted. Don't make you happy? Yes, good enough. That's because I don't, you know, I want to know that shit.
Yep. Good. Answer my question.
No, I go with Aldo. That's circumstantial. It is, especially because also this is a problem. Is like that's girlfriend versus fucking wife.
Yep. You know, well, girlfriend, I don't give a flying fuck.
Yeah, but then the problem is that sometimes a girlfriend turns into your fucking wife, and like you know,
you don't date nobody, you don't plan on marrying.
Yeah,
it's an old one, but.
Listen, you done said it. You done said it.
Okay. To this day, but it don't no more.
The marrying is so scary for men. for men, marrying is scary. For women, there's no pressure.
But you have to
for
ask
men,
what kind of man is marriage scary for?
Yeah,
that's the question.
Well, because from a legal standpoint, though, we're the ones who suffer.
We get fucked
into the fucking divorce. They don't.
We get.
That's why I said, like, I feel like even emotionally, like Big Al said this shit, and he knows I'm going through this fucking shit, and I agree with Al because like Al and Junior have been through me the past few months about my current situation, but I feel like Al and Junior said this shit in private a million times. We'll say it on the fucking podcast. Junior's just like, women get fucking more. What was your exact quote? Sorry.
Women get more. They get mentally and emotionally attached faster.
Yeah.
But we get physically attached faster.
Yeah. But then Big Al would say this shit, and I agree with Al because I'm going through this myself. Is like Al's like, it takes a lot for a fucking guy to get emotionally attached to you, but once we do, we sink our fucking claws in all fucking together. It's a lot fucking hard. Once a guy is fucking seriously emotionally attached to a fucking girl, moving on for us is way harder than a fucking female. And I feel like Al's 100% fucking right because I'm going through that my goddamn self. Like,
well, that's because you get mentally and emotionally attached faster than physical attachment.
But just guys in general, it's like during a fucking divorce, it feels like a lot of guys. Once a guy's fucking emotionally invested, it's so much fucking harder for us to move on.
Yeah,
versus a female.
Yeah.
Because like Al said, like when a woman breaks up with the fucking guy and he loves her to fucking death, it destroys us. Women, they'll eat some fucking ice cream, they'll watch some fucking chick flicks, but how fast can they fucking bounce back?
I'm gonna tell you,
as a society of men, we don't deal with hurt and pain.
I was just about to say that
coping mechanisms.
I was just about to. You hit that shit on the head.
You know, we're told to just brush it off.
Exactly.
And move along, man up. Yeah. You know,
because women get to go through the pain. They get to express their emotions. When a woman is upset, she gets to be upset, and then she gets to move on. When we're upset, we got to bottle it up, and we got to keep it to ourselves.
Yeah,
and then we got to fucking find a way to make it to figure it out. You know, and it's crazy.
Goddamn right. No,
and that's why a lot more men are in therapy relationships.
Well, because it feels like from a guy's standpoint, of course, physically fucking speaking, you know, a guy can hop into a chick's bed the next fucking day, next week, whatever. But like emotionally, how long was it take us to that emotional attachment we fucking had? It takes us because it took us so long to get emotionally attached that moving on to the next fucking person takes that much fucking longer. If women can do it, like, just seems like easier than we can because they get into it so fucking fast. It takes us like we're the whole like long term shit. Like it takes us long term.
Yeah, because they will lose their emotions and their mental toward the guy faster than we will because it takes us longer to get into that. Yeah. Like with you, for example, you're different because you emotionally invest a lot faster than most guys do. You are different. You are the exception to that, personally.
Yeah, but just guys in general, though, like Al said.
Guys in general, yes. Guys in general, mentally and emotionally, will take a lot longer to move on when they become emotionally attached.
Exactly.
But in that time frame, though, it's like, you know, a lot, especially in long-term relationships. Like when, you know, I was best friends with this girl for 6 years, and we developed such a crazy relationship. We never dated, but we had such a close friendship. It was almost like we were dating. Yeah. By the time we actually started dating, a month into that, she died. It devastated me. That was a devastation. You know what I mean? She was such a huge part of my life, like an incredibly huge part of my life. And it was the fact that she was such a good friend to me. And the fact that through it all, like, she was the person I could talk to. She was the person I could confide in if I was upset. She wasn't going to call me a bitch if I got a little emotional, like a lot of women like to do, especially in inner city areas. Women like to call guys a bitch that have a little bit more emotion. But having a friend that you can confide in like that, and then suddenly it blooms into a relationship after such a strong foundation, and then I lost that for at least 5 or 6 consecutive years, I was completely devastated. I drowned myself in nothing but drugs and alcohol, and I partied my ass off immediately after that for at least 5 years. And all I did was fuck females and not get emotionally attached. I refused to let my heart, that's how I cope. I refused to let my heart ever feel that same pain again. And since then, I've never had a girlfriend. Yeah,
because you're more particular and you're better with dates than I am. Like, Mary's been, almost 5.5 years now since Mary passed away. And, like, this was the first relationship I've had in 5 fucking years. And, like, this is because how, like you said, when she first fucking passed away, I was, like, not eating, not sleeping. I'm working 17 fucking hour days. I'm going through, like, you know, just my entire life is upside fucking down. It took me years and years and years to find somebody fucking new because I was so emotionally and physically invested with this fucking girl. This girl was like long-term potential, and she passes away. Like I couldn't just like, move on the next week or next 6 months or something. It took me years to fucking get over that shit.
Yeah. And
I'm trying to like think here.
It's going on almost 5.5 years since she's passed away.
Something like that. Yeah.
And then when you get into your new relationship, you invest even more emotions because it's been so long since you were in the last one. And you already have the mindset that you don't want to be alone. So when you don't want to be alone, and then you're with a girl that shows such potential for you not to be alone anymore, that's when you dive into your emotions. So you treated the short-term relationship that you had with her as long as I had the friendship with that girl that was 6 years, as Al had with his relationship with the girl that was 5 years plus. As the relationship that, Jamie and Brian has that's like 15 years strong. Yeah, really. You know what I mean?
Carlton and Karen.
And Karen. You treated a short term as if it was a long term, not only because of the fact that it was your feelings from your previous relationship that got cut short, but it was also because of the fact that you as a person is more emotionally.
Well, because I've told people before. I've had fucking relationships that last a year or 2 years, and just we break up, no problem. That didn't give a fuck, because I wasn't emotionally invested.
Yeah.
But then you meet somebody who's you get emotionally invested with that person. Now you're like, shit, I don't want to move on because I'm so. Like I said, it's like it does feel like we definitely get more emotionally fucking anchored than a lot of times the females do.
Yeah. And most of the time, and I would say most of the time, it takes a lot longer. Like with women. Women will become mentally and emotionally attached significantly faster than guys. You know what I'm saying? But again, there are exceptions to that. Chris, you're definitely one. But it's just like,
Chris is half a woman, though.
It's just like, I'm saying for me personally, it takes a really long time for me to trust a woman emotionally. And it takes almost an extreme amount of time. Like almost to the point that it may seem like I never will. Like it's just, but at least, like, give or take, it would be at least 3 years minimum. Like, if I had to put a time on it, 3 years minimum before even a shred of my emotion even becomes present. Yeah. Because of the fact that it's men, and we've been conditioned in this day and age to be so insecure about letting our emotions show.
Goddamn right.
That once it does happen, and it happens in such a private setting. And it's not, we keep to ourselves and we stay detached.
Yeah.
Because if we let our emotions show, if we get upset, we get attacked for it. If we communicate and we say, this bothers me, why are you being a bitch? Yeah. Why would we want to show our emotions? Why would we act like we care if when we show that we care and we say that we care and we want to value communication, we're bitches for it? Suddenly it's a female trait. You know what I mean?
I think though too, like, now granted, we've all been through shit in our lives. So I think it's not even just a male-female thing. I think it depends on like how much damage you have, how much you've gone through, how much you've endured. Because I can tell you right now, like, even being a female, I have a problem when I first meet someone most of the time. If I like you right away, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna hate you. If I don't like you when I first meet you, like, you may become my best friend. Type of deal. And, like, it takes a lot of time to, like, warm up to someone, to actually, like, get along with someone. And that's even just a friend. Imagine, like, then add on a relationship, it takes a bit longer. And I think that's just depending on, like, our upbringing.
Yeah. Like I said, it depends upon the person. I'm just saying what it is from a general standpoint. I'm speaking from a general standpoint.
Yeah. From
everybody that I've witnessed, from everybody that, from all the relationships that I've witnessed, from all the relationships that I've known about, from the multitude of people that I know, I'm speaking from a general standpoint. There's obviously exceptions to everything.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's always exceptions. But from the standpoint of where we are, there's such division in how our feelings are put in a relationship these days. Yeah. Because emotions equals weakness in this generation. You know what I'm saying? Emotion speaks weakness. Yep. It doesn't speak strength. It doesn't speak maturity. It doesn't speak those things that were highly valued back when marriage was actually more prevalent.
Yeah.
You know
when
what I
it
mean?
actually meant something to be
When
married.
marriage actually meant something more than just getting into a man's pockets knowing they had money. Because look at J-Lo that got more rings than Thanos. You know what I mean? Like, you look at J-Lo that just pretty much just gets married just to pretty much get the guy's money at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I could never.
It's funny. Every time she breaks up with a guy, there's always this post out there saying, "Is she going to get back the engagement ring?"
Like, it's just like, I can't even, like, J-Lo, like, she's sexy as hell, and I would still make her sign a prenup. Before we get married, she's signing a fucking prenup. Like, I know you're gonna divorce me in 6 months because we're gonna fucking argue. So that's ring number 8.
That's kind of comedy you gotta put in your YouTube channel.
You got fucking. It's like, you got more fucking. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You almost
more
like
stones.
It's almost like I'm staring at fucking Michael Jordan with the amount of rings you got on you. Like, what the fuck?
That's why we love Junior 4.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm not letting that one go.
Like, it's just Jesus Christ. Like, you know what I mean? And then it's like, that's a woman who violates the sanctity of a marriage. Like,
she does.
Like, point blank.
I'm sure she can destroy half the universe too.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. Like, you look at like someone like her. Every one of her relationships becomes like this big thing. Like from the very beginning.
All right. So coming up on fucking 3 hours, I had to save this last article for Big Al because it's like we never get fucking political. We're always fucking neutral. But this made me think about Al when I read this shit because the carnivorous bastard that he is. But so this is up in your grill. According to Joe Biden, I don't care. He's our president. I'm for the guy. Have a great life and do our country well. But Biden wants to have more climate change and more climate reform. So according to Biden and his current climate change, what he says is that he wants all Americans to cut 90% of red meat from your diet. He also wants you to have maximum of 4 pounds of meat per year. The most that you can have a month is 1 hamburger. And that's it.
Well, I just violated that today. I had 2.
Let me say this to you, right?
Al's about to shred him.
When Ronald Reagan was president, his wife was running a similar campaign. Yeah. And then after that, Michelle Obama was trying to do something along those lines with being healthier. Like, I'm not knocking Reagan's wife. I'm definitely not knocking Michelle Obama. Yeah. I'm not even mad at Biden. The reality of it is, every time somebody suggests one of these things, Americans become fatter. You know why? Because we reject the thought of
because it's basically like you're telling me what I can do.
Nobody wants to be told what to do with their body, like, at all. Like,
I'm just laughing at Biden's like, Al, listen, the most you can have
is a fucking burger.
Each month, Al, is 1 burger per month. You better get on a fucking strict vegetable diet, Al, and berries.
This is when you see me fucking start stockpiling guns. Start getting on my anti-America rhetoric.
I want to laugh, like, at least, Trump was a racist, but at least I can eat as many cheeseburgers as I want.
You're limiting me to a burger a day? Oh, fuck
how many
this.
fucking videos I've seen of fucking Trump eating McDonald's? He needs to eat a quarter pounder. He's like, he hates black people, but fuck, he loves double cheeseburgers.
Jesus Christ!
It's nice to think about him making some kind of statement about wanting Americans to be healthier or whatever. But the reality of it is, everybody's still gonna do what they want to do. Like, nobody's gonna. I
just don't know this whole climate change thing and the talk about fucking anti-meat this and all meat that. And I'm like, guys, it's
fucking retarded.
It's like if I eat fucking said 1 cheeseburger, 2 cheeseburgers this month, is it really gonna fucking destroy the ozone? I mean, it's just because they're trying to say the whole cow farts thing and stuff and methane gas and shit, and like, and now meat is bad for human beings. Like, even Joe Rogan's like, meat is bad for us. Well, how the fuck do you get protein then? Like, animal protein is different than plant protein. It's a proven fucking biological fucking fact. Like, you can drink protein shakes all fucking day. Like, you
can take supplements all you want, but that's not making up for if you eat a steak.
Listen, the protein is different, but ultimately your body uses it the same way, whether it comes from plants or animals. So I get how people would want to push, eat plants and save the animals or whatever the case is. But my thing is this: at the end of the day, nobody's gonna talk me out of eating animals. It's just not gonna happen. That's just my choice. That's what it is. Anybody that wants to be healthy, I'm all for it. Do your thing.
But even from bodybuilding standpoint, like I'm
quiet. I just kept laughing.
I'm a big person. Like I said, I follow Arnold Schwarzenegger. I follow Sylvester Stallone. I follow the fucking Rock. Rock right now is getting ready to fucking start shooting Black Adam. I've seen the fucking Rock. He's 54 years old. He's 3 times my fucking size. The Rock doesn't look like that by eating a fucking strict diet of carrots and broccoli and fucking kale. Peas, okay? And even fucking protein shakes. The Rock even posts constantly how he's eating fucking burgers and chicken and fucking lean steaks. You don't get the size of the fucking Rock by having one burger a fucking month. Bullshit.
These guys are exceptions to the rule, though. They're not the rule. Because the thing is, they eat these maximum amount of proteins, but then they spend fucking 18 hours a day working out. Like, they have to compensate for all that consumption of protein. So it's like, you can't really, like, compare the average guy to The Rock or Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger in
I
prime.
saw the cutest video the other day of him with his 3-year-old daughter.
Jason Momoa,
and they were watching Aquaman, and if you saw it,
or Jason Momoa, like Jason Momoa doesn't become Khal Drogo by eating peas.
Did you just call him Carl?
Yeah, Khal Drogo.
Carl.
But yeah, but these guys aren't hitting that level.
Watch the show. Pronounce the name correctly.
I'll give a fuck.
Fuck you.
Fucking 7 million women across America are gonna slit your throat for that fuck up, Chris.
But fuck this guy.
It's like he can't even say Daenerys. He never calls her Daenerys. He just calls her Khaleesi.
Everyone calls her Dany. Khaleesi.
No, you always call her Khaleesi.
So. Most guys do. Yeah. No one cares. Take your top off. Like that's all. That's all guys.
Get naked.
Exactly. That's why everyone's pissed off.
Why do you have clothes on?
Yeah, that's why everyone's fucking pissed off. Game of Thrones for it. Oh, seasons 5, 6, 7, 8. She can't take her clothes off anymore. We're watching this show for titties. Like that's why we're watching this.
She took her clothes off in season 6 and 7.
No, I think it was Body Double, wasn't it?
No, that was her.
Oh, okay.
Good.
No, the only body double was
big deal. She had brain damage or something.
Lena Headey.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the first season, she was battling. She had a tumor.
Exactly, and people like Junior. Junior doesn't care. He wants to see dragons and titties. That's why we're watching it for.
Have you ever seen Sam Jackson's description of Game of Thrones, where he's trying to describe what the hell happens, and they keep showing the dragons? He's like, "No, fuck those dragons." Damn.
Yeah. It's like for the most part, yes, like there is a good storyline. There's a complex plot going on Game of Thrones. But for the most part, guys were watching Game of Thrones for titties and dragons. Like, it's simple as that.
Well, yeah. Every time I see, like, Robert Baratheon's a bastard with a shirt off, I'm like, yes.
That and wieners, So.
Wieners.
Exactly. Ask Al. Al's watched all Game of Thrones. He's watching Daenerys. He wants to see Daenerys get naked.
So I watched Game of Thrones, and I did like it, and then it ended, and it made me want to kill people.
Oh, God. I was talking to Susan recently, this part of YouTube, like I had different YouTube videos been coming out about, like, how there's been a big hashtag of, like, remake Game of Thrones season 8, because season 8 was such a shit show, it's like how...
See, it's a complex thing, and, like, I was going in with Chris on it. Yeah. I was trying to explain to him why a part of me is like, yes, redo it, but at the same point in time, a part of me is like, you know what? Leave it as it is.
Yeah.
But for different reasons. Redo it, but without...
People don't get what Game of Thrones is.
Game
of Thrones is like The Walking Dead. Whether you like Game of Thrones or like Walking Dead, the bottom line is Game of Thrones, at least the past 5 years in television-wise, Game of Thrones was the biggest thing in television in the past fucking... Like that and Walking Dead. Both shows, love them or hate them, the past 10 fucking years, there's been no fucking shows that have matched Walking Dead and Game of Thrones in terms of viewership. You had 22 fucking million people watching Walking Dead and Game of Thrones. That's some big fucking
The amount of people who freaking would watch Walking Dead, and then, like, if they had, like, HBO Max, HBO Go, whatever, and would just, like, wait for Game of Thrones to hit that night on that so they could watch Game of Thrones, like, that says a lot.
Yeah, or like even like the MCU, like even like me and Al recently, a few weeks back, me and Al were watching Avatar. Like people to this day, it's been fucking 12 years since Avatar came out. You can shit on Avatar all you fucking want. The bottom line is $3 fucking billion. A lot of people were watching Avatar.
Wait, was it 12 years? I thought it was only 11.
It's been like 11, 12 years, but yeah, because that's been the thing is like with Avatar 2 and 3 and 4 coming out. I hated Avatar. You can hate all fucking day. You can hate Marvel all damn day. The box office fucking proves there's, let's say, China just had an Avatar re-release, did fucking like $40 million in China. People love Avatar, whether you like it or fucking not, guys.
It's a good movie. It tells a good story. It's
and
not,
Al was right. I was gonna fucking leave Al's house. Al popped Avatar on. You know what? Then fuck, we got a pizza. We got fucking wings. Me and Al watched all of Avatar, and I'm like, God damn, I love this movie.
And it still stands up to the test of time.
It's not a bad movie. I'm not gonna say
visually, it's still one of the most attractive movies that you could look at on a screen.
Like the fact that this movie it's over 10 fucking years old, and Avatar still looks fucking better than the past 5 years of movies says a lot, man. Like it's a good fucking film for what it is. Like,
So I saw something else too recently. There was actually, now I of course am a huge ass Marvel fan, rocking the freaking Defenders t-shirt and all.
Mm-hmm.
That stands my testament to it. You're a Marvel fan. Al, you've seen all the Marvel movies, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Junior, you as well.
Yeah.
Nick, have you?
I've seen all the Marvel movies.
There you go.
I'm
Yeah.
a DC fan now.
Yeah.
More a DC fan.
But still, but he recognizes like what they are. So
But
yeah,
you okay
Got
over
Goku.
there, Al?
Well, on the side, fucking, I was talking to Al about like.
My T-shirt is ultimately disrespecting Superman.
I was just laughing with Al telling Al about like Susan, like Susan, you haven't watched much of Demon Slayer. Like yesterday, Jamie, Brian, and Wyatt went to go see Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
And I was telling Al recently, like on the whole political aspect, that Christian a few months ago was talking about, and everybody here, I'm sure you have, has watched anime. Everybody loves fucking anime. Everybody loves Dragon Ball Z. Demon Slayer has literally broke box office fucking records in Japan. It is Japan's #1 movie of all fucking time.
Yeah.
And they're teaching our fucking kids, and for the most part, I still have Christians fucking school. I'm not a fucking parent because they don't want fucking parents helicoptering their kids, get involved with their fucking class lessons. But a few fucking months back, or like a month back, Christian's teacher was talking about they have to take this course of like anime and racism and not enough black representation. And like I'm looking at Japan, just like, you think we give a flying fuck about representation in anime? Demon Slayer just did like $2 billion at the fucking box office. Japan doesn't give a flying fuck about your representation and diversity checkboxes and shit.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer just came out. Demon Slayer did more money in anime cartoon than Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat just came out. Demon Slayer did fucking more money. And the funny part is, Demon Slayer was in a fucking third of the theaters that Mortal Kombat was in, and still did more fucking money. So it's like, Japan doesn't care about your whole check marks, bullshit representation. Nobody watched Dragon Ball Z and like, well, I wish they had more black people or more Asian people or more Hispanic
Piccolo
people.
was black. End of
It's like,
story.
just watch the fucking anime, guys. Like, for Christ's sakes. Like, yeah.
But what I was gonna say,
I'm all for diversity in fucking shows or whatever, but this is my argument for the concept of diversity in anime. Anime, like most animes that you watch, like Japan is their entire world, right? Based on it's a homogenous community. Like, what's the percentage of people there that aren't natural born Japanese? It's like fucking like 1% or something. It's for the most part.
that's the thing. You can argue that, but this is the thing. You're getting mad that there isn't enough black representation. The characters in a Japanese show technically aren't even white. They're Asian.
It's a fuck point. Like with different animes, like let's say Fullmetal Alchemist, they had black characters, they had fuck white characters, they had it's anime, guys. Like, for fuck's sake, it's like this is an American fucking problem. We're so busy talking about the color tone of cartoon characters.
Yeah,
they're cartoon characters. Japan's just like, guys, we don't fucking care. Our cinema, see, this is why Hollywood, our TV shows are tanking for. Our fucking, we're seeing record fucking breaking, like okay, they make Black Woman season 2, a black Batwoman, a black Batwoman. She's hitting fucking record breaking fucking low numbers. Where our movies are fucking tanking. Japan's just like, hey guys, we're making cartoon characters. Our cartoon characters are making more money than your live action fucking characters because we don't give a fuck. People don't fucking care. Just go watch a goddamn anime. No one cares if Goku or Vegeta or Piccolo and just watch this shit, man. Like, fuck.
Whatever happened to just watching a show because you like the show?
Yeah.
I told you before, it's the loud minority of people.
Yep.
Growing up as a kid, I watched.
But this is a fucking problem. So, like, on the side, Hollywood is tanking, and anime cartoons are doing more than Hollywood right now.
But
that's how fucking bad
I'm
like
saying.
their political spectrum is
this
right
is
now.
This is what's so fucking wrong with the world now. Growing up, we watched Family Matters, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
exactly, everything,
fucking Full House, Step by Step, all those freaking shows, and it didn't matter if it was a white family or a black family.
I didn't care. Yeah.
We didn't care. We liked the story.
Yeah. So, like, no,
People care too much about inclusion these days.
Yeah, it's like to this fucking day. Uncle Phil helped raise me. I love the Uncle Phil. When he fucking James Avery died, that shit broke my fucking heart, man. With Uncle Phil, everyone. That's why I still haven't watched the Fresh Prince reunion yet because Uncle Phil is not there. It's like it's so like Big Al said. We talked about this
when
on this podcast.
They did their Zoom call. Will Smith, I think, was the one who brought up like all these different videos of him from the past, and like every freaking cast member was bawling.
No, and we talk about this fucking podcast. I'll still talk about
and it had both
10,000 words fucking times. And like you're here now, it's like fucking Bill. I sat in my fucking dad's fucking. We had a spare house and a reservation up in Aquazest, New York, and Dad had fucking 10 fucking old school fucking freaking track records and shit too. The records of Bill. I listened to 10 Bill Cosby albums growing up as a 10, 11-year-old, 12-year-old fucking kid. Bill Cosby helped fucking raise me and shit. So like. Even I would say how much that culturally hurt all of us, like Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, Richard fucking Pryor. No one give a fuck. I never once listened to a
Eddie
Bill
Murphy,
Cosby.
Chris Rock.
I never once listened to a Bill Cosby album. Was like, oh, me and Bill Cosby are different fucking skin tones. I can't relate to this fucking man. That man raised my childhood and shit. Like how much
because
that was a culture shock to all of us, man. Like
the divide that's there is literally coming from the media. Because at this point in time, in this year, you go to any inner city most of the time, no one gives a crap what the hell you look like. They matter. What matters most is what's on the inside.
Yeah.
And the fact that the media, the government, all of that, they go and they take that and they say, fuck that. No, it's about what's on the outside. And that's why, like, all white people are racist. All black people need to hate white people because white people are racist. And this, that, and the third, and like Hispanic people, like you should hate them as well, and so on, and whatever. It's like, you know what? Fuck you. I don't give a fuck what you are, because we all bleed red.
Yeah, it's like Al told me I'm watching. There's Amazon. There's a new movie on Amazon that Tom Clancy's. It's got Anthony Mackie in it. That new what's it called, Al?
Not Anthony Mackie. It's got
Anthony Mackie.
It's got I forgot his name. Fuck it. The guy that played in Creed. What's his name?
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Starring Michael B. Jordan.
It's
called
Al said, Chris, watch it. I'm watching it.
Without Remorse.
Yeah. The fact that
April 30th is coming out. Support this movie.
Yeah.
It's coming out on Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah.
I'm watching
it. As soon as Al says watch, I'm watching it. That's it.
Well, I'll tell you.
I didn't give a fuck what the actor is. Al said watch, and Chris, I'm watching it. So.
I'm going to tell you right now, I blame about 40%. It's a 40-60. Like, if I'm going to point fingers at anything when it comes to this whole division, it's 40-60. I'm going to say 40% of it is the media. I'm only going to put 40% of it on the media. I'm going to put 60% on the American people in general. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? The media might not be helping the issue, but what it's exposing is just how racist people really are and how this is the true face of America is the fact that if you're not inclusive, you're racist. If you're not, you know what I'm saying? If you're a specific skin type in specific situation, you're always going to be racist. It is a 60-40 media. It's a 60-40 American people to media in terms of what to blame in terms of this division. I'm sorry. I'm not looking all at media anymore.
Like, I signed up fucking like Al. The funny part, if anybody here, Al told me, said, Chris, watch a show called Invincible. I've got fucking like 5 people into Invincible. Not many black characters in Invincible. Al said, Chris, watch Invincible. I am glued to this fucking show. Holy shit! Like I've got like this show is fantastic. Like
what I was bringing up is now today, I guess marks like the 2-year anniversary since Endgame came out in the theaters. And recently, someone on TikTok, because there is like a Marvel page for TikTok.
Yeah.
And stuff, and someone recently like dropped a deleted scene from Endgame at the very end after Tony does the snap and everything.
Yeah.
And it shows every single person stopping and just dropping to one knee in front of him as he died.
Yeah.
And stuff, and a ton of fans are like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" And then there's the other half that's like, but it takes away from the funeral scene. Kind of. And I was wondering, like, have you guys seen it? If you have, like, what are your thoughts? Do you agree that it takes away and that it's a good thing they didn't put it in the movie and they left it as a deleted scene? Or do you think, like, they should have included it because of the fact that without Iron Man, there would be no Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Well, I think, in my honest opinion, I think that the last half hour of the movie made the movie, because before it was garbage.
The entire war section of it, where they fought Thanos. Yeah, I agree with you.
That whole 35 to 40-minute sequence was the movie in itself.
I mean, Junior's not right. Like, and especially for me, I said, like, when I brought Christian down, we said we were very lucky, and I told Al about this. Al couldn't do this because of work. I would have fucking loved to bring Al with this, but we went to. I've said this on social media the past years plenty of times. I brought my son down.
I know you wanted me to go with you too.
I did. I called in fucking work. In my lifetime, in the past at least 10 years of my life, this was the best. And I said, I wish Al could have took time off work. I spent $100 fucking dollars for myself and my kid. It was if I could have a time machine and go back in time, I would fucking I would do a Groundhog Day in this shit. But the fact that me and Christian sat there in New York City and for 3 days watched fucking from Iron Man to Endgame, 22 fucking movies in a row. It was a goddamn experience. And like, you see how Endgame, like Junior said, the first hour and a half, from like, I could just fast forward through the entire fucking thing. Like, the ending was awesome, but like, when you just, I did feel like the quality versus fucking over the course of 22 films, the quality damn sure went down a lot. Yeah, because if you watch Endgame, it has one fight scene. That's it. When you fight Thanos, the entire fucking film, it's too much talking, unnecessary build up, and not enough character development. The smart Hulk shit, the fat Thor thing, and just like, the fight scene was epic, but like before that, it's just, that movie's really.
And
I mean, I feel like
that's
they
one of my
dropped the
favorite
ball,
parts. And to me, one of my favorite things was the back and forth between Hawkeye and Black Widow over who was sacrificing himself.
Yeah. I mean, it had good parts to it, but overall, I said, if you watch all 22 fucking films in a row, Endgame, I felt like as a finale was damn sure let down. Yeah. Because it's like I said, like Infinity War, I've watched Infinity War like fucking 20 times. Infinity War is a way better film.
Oh, yeah.
Than fucking like,
dude, I still cry at the very end of Infinity War with freaking Spider-Man. I mean, I still cry.
I was there with fucking Alan Jr. When Thor came down, once he got fucking Stormbreaker and Thor fucking teleported, the whole fucking theater lost their shit. Like, I mean, goddamn.
I saw also recently
the whole Wakanda scene, like shit, like
the call, like Chadwick Boseman like made that up on the spot, and everyone Black just Panther, went with it.
I just said Infinity War is a fucking way better film. It just is.
Yeah, I mean that deleted scene. If they would have put that deleted scene in the movie, it would have probably went from like a 6.5 to a 7. I mean, to be honest, just because of the fact that it lost so many points, because it's like the only decent fight scene in the movie was that point.
That's it. That was the only fight scene in the movie. That's it.
It was that one Captain America exchange that was like 45 seconds, but. That, like I said, it was like there was a couple of fighting scenes here and there, but it was just like the one that really mattered. The only thing that mattered was just the last 40 minutes of the movie. That's it. That's it.
One big ass scene. So I'm at a fucking news article. I just had to mention Al with like Al.
Joe Biden's health plan.
Eating less meat.
One burger a month.
Yeah, but that's nothing new, man. That's been done to death over and over again.
But did they say how big the burger had to be?
I didn't. But I'm good with Al. After this podcast, now I'm tempted to go fucking get 4 double cheeseburgers and have my fucking supply for the next 4 months. Like, Chris, you're done for the summer. You ate 4 double cheeseburgers. Like, fuck, man, I can't eat a burger until September. Like,
well, pretty much wrap this up. As I said before, with the YouTube channel starting in just a couple of weeks, it's definitely going to be exciting. Having Nicolai here just to give him a fresh perspective on things.
I feel bad, like he didn't talk enough. Like,
what was your opinion then? Like, these guys gave their opinion.
Oh, what's that? The movie or just? I mean,
like,
honestly, I'm the same way. I hated. Honestly, the whole Endgame movie, I felt like I was just sitting through like a sitcom, like especially when they broke out the fat Thor who is staying at his mom's house. I
said, fat Thor was funny. He was funny for
staying at his mom's house.
He was funny for 10 minutes, but overall though, it started getting kind of old.
It felt too sitcom-y to me. And then that last fight at the end, it was a great fight, but I felt like I sat through an hour and a half of a movie just to watch 10 minutes of what I came to see.
So do you think like that deleted scene would have like improved the movie, or do you think it was like, okay, I can see why they would cut it out?
I didn't see the deleted scene you're talking about, but if they would have added it, then it probably would have rounded it off a little bit better rather than just doing what they did.
Number two, how many fucking deleted scenes though? Or you watch them, you're like, you know what, guys? I understand why they stayed deleted scenes.
Oh yeah.
How many fucking movies you're like, you know what, guys? I'm glad you kept that shit out. Like,
but like this one in particular, like when I saw it, I nearly like got choked up because every single person from Captain Marvel to Drax, freaking Star-Lord, obviously like Spider-Man's already on his knees beside him, like Pepper's already on her knees beside him, Cap, Hulk, Hawkeye, freaking everyone like just drops to one knee and like is right in front of him. T'Challa, all of them. Like and
I mean, I think if they would have added it in, it might have made the movie better. Because I mean, pay homage to the guy that single-handedly saved the entire fucking universe and brought back all the people that were gone.
Yeah,
it would have been a nice little homage to fucking
Tony Stark,
the Iron Man.
Yeah, or could it have hurt like the final thing where he?
I don't think it would have. I think doing that and then still having the funeral scene as his final send-off would have been fucking perfect cap on the movie.
Well, it's like
perfect cap on a bag movie.
Well, it's like fucking Joe Rogan said to Robert Downey. He's like, you know what? Robert Downey's like, hey, guys, I'm done. I come back as Tony Stark. He's like, yeah, don't worry. Disney's like, hey, Robert Downey, here's a 0. Okay, here's another 0. Here's another 0. It's like, Robert Downey said he's done. Like, yeah, you know, here's another 0. There's another 0. I was like, well, fuck. Like, it's like, we'll see what happens. He said he's done as Iron Man. Like, you know what? We'll see.
So, to pretty much cap off, like I said before, it's just like, having Nicolai here and stuff like that to give him like a fresh perspective on, doing things outside the regular work day. Like I said, my YouTube channel, May 15th, I dropped my first episode. Small businesses, I'm going to be talking about all the small businesses that's around here and things like that. It's going to be an exciting time, to be able to drop more content and things like that, just to be raw. So if I can describe my YouTube channel, it's going to be raw and it's going to be fun. And just like here in the podcast, when I'm talking about, getting the best head from remedial females.
Oh, trust me, on YouTube, they'll ban you for that shit. So
it's like, so it's just, as always, I'm always a full supporter of small businesses. I'm always a full supporter of local talent, good local talent. If you're garbage, you're garbage, and I will let you know that too. And it's, what I'm saying, like, guys, have an opinion. It's okay to have an opinion that's different than the masses of bubble thinkers. That's what I call them now, is bubble thinkers. It's okay to have an opinion that's different than the bubble thinkers. Trust me, it is. The silent majority is definitely with you. Fuck cancel culture, and I will say that to the day I die. Fuck cancel culture. Suck my dick. Just because we don't agree with you doesn't mean that we're fucking haters and we're we're phobes. We just have a genuine opinion about things. Get the fuck over it. And that's my spiel.
Well said. Want to go, Sue?
I don't give like a good send off. I never do. I'm just like, I'm not like.
I make Al go last. Al came in last, so.
Yeah, Al did come in last.
Al gives good speeches, though. So.
But that's the thing. Al says the same thing every week, every time he's here.
But it's the way he says it.
He has like that strong, deep male voice that like
masculine,
like makes women like go, "Oh my god, who's that?"
Jesus Christ!
It just makes you do that.
He does not make me do that. I'm not your average female. I'm not sucked in by it.
Mm-hmm. Not yet.
You read my mind, Chris. Not sucked in yet.
I'm hungry. I know Al and Junior are always hungry, so we're getting some food after this because I've had 4 glasses of Jack. I'm fucking starving. So, because I already know Al and Junior, there's never a time they're never not hungry. So,
okay. Well, here's my send off. Exactly. Nick, it was nice to meet you. Al, never gonna happen.
Sue, you're already mine. Like, why are you fighting this? Like, we're together. We have kids. Like, why are you fighting this? Knock it off.
What kids?
Your last name is Johnson right now.
You are not my Longhorn.
Susan Johnson?
Yes, I am.
I'll do my send off hey, guys, always Junior's YouTube channel. It's gonna be on it, and I eventually will get my own going once I fucking get around to it. So But fucking 3.5 hours.
Yeah, we need to get the.
What do you need,
Collar
Chris?
Losers
Let's
YouTube
start
channel.
laying out a plan of what we need to get this thing.
Like I said, I want Junior wants to do something different than us, but I basically just want to do movie reviews. Like I just watched me and Christian today watch Honest Trolls of John Wick 2 and 3. I figured it's as neutral and non-political as you can get about talking about just like
why be neutral and non-political when you can piss people
I've been
off?
thinking about
Because
that.
when you become political, you have two type of people that pay attention to you. The people that like what you're saying and they support you, and then the people that will log in every day because they hate your guts and they just want to fight with you.
Too.
But it's the same when you're doing a review on a movie, because you could like sit there and say, this was the greatest movie I'd ever seen.
The thing is, like, because
the stuff
we see in the fucking podcast, stuff Junior said, Al said, Susan said, I've said, YouTube has gotten worse. Their guidelines.
Yeah, you're right.
As of right fucking now, this podcast, we can say whatever the fuck we want. Even this episode before you got here, Al, the stuff we fucking said, YouTube would ban us in a fucking heartbeat. So at least with at least movie reviews, we said, hey, listen, this is me and Chris and Al. Me and Al just watched a whole season of Invincible. Let's break down Invincible. Me and Junior watched John Wick 1, 2, and 3. Let's break down John Wick. But it's going to be at the end of it like, hey, listen, if you like our reviews about John Wick or Invincible, check out our fucking podcast, because our podcast, we can't talk about what we want to on YouTube because YouTube is getting worse and worse. Of like, if you even say still COVID, you can't even say COVID on YouTube without them fucking demonetizing your shit. We can say COVID all day in a fucking podcast because no one's paying us for this stuff. So Junior, going fucking forward, Junior has to be very fucking careful of what he fucking says, because if he says the fucking wrong word, even right now, it's like this be it next podcast.
They'll demonetize him. They'll block his channel.
Right now, fucking whatever. Bruce Jenner, I still call him Bruce. Caitlyn Jenner is now going for governor of California. If you say on YouTube, if you say Bruce Jenner, they will instantly fucking ban your shit.
Yeah. Well, that's like Ellen Page.
Yeah, it's like right now on YouTube, you have to say Caitlyn fucking Jenner is going fucking for governor of California. On his podcast, I can call him fucking Bruce Jenner all goddamn day, but on YouTube you can't. So that's what I'm saying. At least with fucking movie reviews, we can be as neutral as we fucking can and be non-controversial to get more people into wanting to listen to the fucking podcast. Say, listen, guys, you want to hear our real fucking opinions? Listen to the podcast, because right now podcasting, you can say whatever the fuck you want, but in YouTube, they're very selective of what you can do on their fucking, just like Facebook. I've seen people get fucking Facebook banned for the most mundane shit. I'm like, God damn, guys, it's not controversial, but so we'll see. But like this, like Joe Rogan, hey guys, this shit's fucking free. Don't want your money, don't need your money, and we're having fucking fun. I'm glad Nicolai stopped by. Let him say his fucking goodbye. Let Al say his goodbye, and we're gonna go hit the buffet because I'm fucking starving.
Greedy fuck.
Yeah.
Nick, it was nice to meet you.
He didn't say much.
Sue, I'm going to put 3 babies in you before the year is out. And my spiel remains the same.
Jesus Christ.
Support your neighborhood. Protect your neighborhood and your neighbors. Support your local police, your fire departments, your hospitals, your school. Donate to the people that could help you and your community. And take care of one another.
Nick Duck.
Nick, you get the final goodbye, but next time you come down, man, fucking say some more than 4 words.
Yeah, it was a good
feel bad,
coming
dude.
out. Definitely my first podcast, as you guys could probably definitely tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great learning experience. I thank you guys for letting me come down and witness all of this, and I will have more to say next time.
Yeah, I told fucking Junior Will, like, you're more to anybody wants to come down. This is the point of being blue collar. Everybody's fucking more than welcome to come down. I have no bias on your shit, your skin color, sexual orientation, how much money you make. Everybody come down and have a fucking drink. You had some Jack Daniels honey with me. Have some fucking fun, man, because that's all we got left, is because we're all fucking poor. We're all poor sitting in the fucking basement. So just drink and have fun. That's all we got left, because we're none of us here are gonna fucking change the political spectrum or the class sex spectrum, and just like sit back and just bullshit. So, you good, Junior?
Yeah, I'm all set.
All right, we're out.